And welcome to the 2023 Northern Region 6B Baseball Tournament quarterfinal matchup featuring the visiting Wakefield Warriors of the Liberty District and your home team tonight, the James Madison Warhawks of the Concord District. On behalf of Principal Liz Calvert and Director of Student Activities John Kenny, we are pleased you chose to attend tonight's game and strive to make this a positive experience for everyone. Good sportsmanship is a top priority of the Virginia High School League and James Madison High School. The way your school is represented is far more important than the outcome of the game. And our expectation is you conduct yourself appropriately by displaying good sportsmanship both on the field and in the stands. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's our privilege to bring to you tonight's starting lineup, beginning with the visiting Wakefield Warriors. Leading off with Warriors in right field, number 20, Pete Borskling. Batting second, the shortstop, number 8, Charlie Grove. Batting third, the third baseman, number 5, Michael Duncan. Batting fourth, the second baseman, number 9, Mason Bull. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 7, Wade Brigham. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 3, Keegan Mahoney. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 4, Bo Branch. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 2, Teddy Angel. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 12, Malachi Merriweather. At first base tonight for the Warriors, number 32, Joey Todd. Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of the Wakefield players, along with assistant coaches, Howard Bowden, Chris Cardinal, George Baker, head coach, 2023 Wakefield Warriors, Shannon Knox. And now your Warhawks. Leading off, the pitcher, number 33, Connor Moore. Batting second, the shortstop, number 7, Mac Lewis. Batting third, the first baseman, number 25, Bryce Eldridge. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 22, Eli Navarro. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 6, Jason Cassidy. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 10, Carter Tuck. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 25, Cooper Tarnanko. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 27, Hector Orozco. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 14, Kyle Carell. In right field tonight for the Warhawks, that's second base, for the Warhawks, number 9, Michael Allen. The rest of the Madison players, along with assistant coaches, Justin Counts, T.J. Harrison, Joe Carter, Fred Weiss, Wade Sweeney, Nat Sedlock, Kent Drill. Head coach, 2023 Madison Warhawk, Mark Jorman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise and gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Let's play some baseball.
From now on, the seasons are on the line for both the Madison Warhawks and the Wakefield Warriors. It's time for the regional playoffs. These are the VHSL 6D region playoffs. In particular, the quarterfinal between the Madison Warhawks, the top seed from the Concord District, and the Wakefield Warriors, the fourth seed from the Liberty District. Madison, of course, coming off one of their most electric games of the year, a walk-off 5-4 victory last Friday, getting revenge on Westfield, the team that eliminated them from their season a year ago in the district playoffs. So now Madison and Wakefield will face off here at the Warhawks home stadium. The winner of this moves on to the region semifinals and keeps their season alive. 8 teams in this region bracket. The winner, of course, will be named region title, and the top 2 teams from the 6D region will move on to be the final 8 in the state playoffs. As you just heard, the starting lineups a few minutes ago, starting off for the Warriors at the top of the order in the top of the inning will be Peter Burstling. At second, the shortstop, Charlie Grove. Hitting third, the third baseman, Michael Duncan. Hitting fourth, the second baseman and power hitter and extra base hit machine, Mason Bull. Hitting fifth is the pitcher and senior, Wade Brigham. Hitting sixth, the center fielder, Keegan Mahoney. Hitting seventh, the left fielder, Bo Branch. Hitting eighth is the catcher, Teddy Angel, and the DH, Malachi Merriweather, hits ninth. For the Warhawks in the field, longtime catcher Connor Moore will make his way to the mound for this one. Kyle Terrell will replace him at catcher. Bryce Eldridge playing at first. Michael Allen is not in the batting order, but playing at second. At shortstop is Mac Lewis. At third is Jason Cassidy, the player who hit the game-winning sacrifice fly for Madison last Friday. In left is Cooper Charneko. In center is Hector Orozco. And in right is Eli Navarro. Moore, the left-hander, is warming up on the mound. The Warhawks coming into this one with an 18-4 record, coming off of a stellar season. A couple of good wins over Centerville and Westfield, being the top seed in the district tournament, now the top seed out of the Concord district, heading into the VHSL 6D region quarterfinal for 2023. Should be a fantastic game. Madison came back from a 4-2 deficit to tie it up in the 6th, and then the run driven in by Cassidy ended it, and it was a field-storming affair. And a lot of excitement. Lots of fans in the stands, bringing their own foldable chairs as well. And it's time for baseball. So Wakefield will come up to bat first in the top of the first inning, like I mentioned, and Peter Burstling will hit first for the Warriors. He's playing in right field today. The right-hander will step into the box. Wakefield wearing the all-black uniforms with the green numbers and trim. Madison wearing the white pinstripe pants with the black shirts. White letters with the red trim around the lettering and the numbers. Moore comes to his set. His first pitch misses inside. Goes to the backstop for ball 1. Moore now looking in as the count is 1-0. The right-hander winds, kicks, delivers, and that one's right down the middle for strike 1. Moore pitching right-handed. He bats left-handed. He'll now step back to the mound here, part of the trio at the top of the order of left-handers for Madison, which will again be in the lineup today with Moore, Mac Lewis, and Bryce Eldridge going 1-2-3. That pitch is fouled off down the first base line into the parking lot and strikes down out of play. The count is 1-2, and Connor Moore now gets ahead in the count once again in the top of the first inning. Moore steps back to the mound and looks in. Now comes set to the belt. The high kick and the 1-2. That one catches the outside edge for a called strike 3. And that's the first out of the game and first of the inning. Connor Moore retires Peter Burstling on 4 pitches. And now we'll face the shortstop, Charlie Grove.
Now batting for Wakefield, the shortstop, number 8, Charlie Grove.
For Wakefield, how they got here, of course, was beating Langley in the first round of their Liberty District tournament. That clinched them this spot. They did lose to Marshall 9-0 a week ago on Tuesday, which eliminated them from their district tournament, but they did enough to qualify for the region quarterfinals. Their season was not over as that first pitch is low. Of course, Madison with the wins over Centerville and Westfield to get here. The Warhawks currently ranked 4th in the state out of any Virginia high school team. Looking to go far in this tournament. It all starts here. Here's the 1-0. Again, misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. For the Warhawks last game, they had Cooper Charneko on the mound. He's in the lineup today in left field. He pitched 6 innings of 4-run ball. The game was tied when he left after the bottom of the 6th, and Bryce Eldridge came and pitched a 1-2-3 top of the 7th, so that one's fouled off behind the backstop to keep it tied. Then, of course, we had the sacrifice fly, which was preceded by a double from Eldridge. He got pinch ran for by Henry Navarro. Single from Eli Navarro brought Henry to third. And then Cassidy stepped up, hit a fly ball in the center, and it was all over with nobody out in the inning. Here's the 2-1 from Moore. That one's going to catch the outside edge for a called strike 2. Moore has played the last several games in a row as catcher. Also been good at bat. Actually was held, though, without a hit last game, which was a rarity for him. He did reach second base on an error, but was otherwise 0 for 3. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's a curveball in there for a called strike 3. Nice action on that pitch for Connor Moore. 2 outs in the inning with 2 strikeouts. And now Michael Duncan, the third baseman, will step up to the plate.
Batting for Wakefield, the third baseman, number 5, Michael Duncan.
So a bunch of right-handers stepping up so far for Wakefield. As Moore comes to his set. Winds and delivers. That one misses low for ball 1. So again, Moore last game held without a hit. He had a couple strikeouts, a fly out, as well as that double that he reached on with an error. That was with 2 outs in the inning. So Westfield, as that one's inside, had a chance to retire the side, but then the double by Moore got a 2-out rally going. And was able to keep the inning alive, of course, score a couple runs on that hit as well. Warhawks ended up not adding any more to that total, but they did tie the game, which was enough, as that one's fouled toward the backstop. It's going to go out of play. Not quite as packed as it was in the district final on Friday, but again, like I mentioned, still many fans by the backstop with the folding chairs, as well as one sitting in the bleachers. And also standing down the left field line. 2 balls and 1 strike now, with 2 outs so far in the inning on Michael Duncan. The left-hander Mason Bull is on deck as Moore comes set. Infield back, the pitch. Curveball stays inside, and now it's a hitter's count 3-1 on Michael Duncan. Moore with the long look, and now the set. Here's the one in the pitch. That one swung on and blasted down the third base line, stays just fair for a base hit. Rounding first is Duncan. He's going to speed for 2. The throw won't be in time. Duncan comes in with a stand-up double. So a couple strikeouts for Connor Moore. That streak is ended there. And with Michael Duncan getting a double, here comes the power-hitting Mason Bull hitting at cleanup. He's had a number of extra base hits this season, a couple homers and a couple doubles as of late, including in particular a grand slam back on May 2nd against Langley that put Wakefield up on them 6-0. So he has been their X factor at the plate and a threat to go deep in the outfield, showing it, especially deep in right with Eli Navarro. Runner on second, 2 outs. Moore glances back. Lewis shifts over, tending to cover the bag. The pitch is low and away for ball 1. So Bull will look to drive in the opening run of the game here in the top of the first. Wade Brigham, the pitcher, is on deck, who will also hope to give himself some run support. Here's the set. And the pitch. That one's fouled off down the third base line and out of play. We've seen Kyle Terrell, the catcher, play at second base the last couple games. He's now, of course, catching his other primary position. And Michael Allen, who's not in the batting order, playing at second. Otherwise, the lineup staying relatively the same, other than it being Cooper Charneko in left. He was pitching, of course, in the last game. Here's the wind and the 1-1. That one's low and away. 2 balls and a strike on Mason Bull, who is taking his time and staying patient. 2 outs in the inning. The Warhawks will hope to hold it scoreless here. Keep the game tied. Moore looks back. Looks again. And now the pitch. Just outside. Just about belt high. The count is 3-1. Moore pitching carefully. The righty-lefty matchup here. He'll look back. Lewis races over to cover second. Time is called. And Bull steps out of the box. Moore looks in once again, waiting on the sign, working slowly with a runner on base. And now he'll take time, step off the mound. Duncan standing on second after the big hit that just skimmed fair down the left field line. And now the throw comes over. Lewis makes the play, but was behind the bag. So a couple disengagements, actually 3 disengagements now if you count the timeout called from the hitter. And the count remains 3-1. And Duncan taking another big lead. Dancing around by the second base bag. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled to the backstop. Bull taking a hard hack at it. And now the count is full. The Warhawks looking to get out of the inning. And it's a big pitch coming up to swing momentum early. Wakefield, the lower seed in this one. Both teams looking to keep their season alive. Another great day for baseball with blue skies and lots of sun. Here's the 3-2. And that one is going to be low for ball 4. Bull races down to first. It was a close pitch, but it will be a walk after a long at-bat. And now with runners on first and second, the pitcher, Wade Brigham, will try to drive him in.
Now batting for Wakefield, the pitcher, number 7, Wade Brigham.
Brigham, the tall right-hander, steps in the box. It's Bull on first, Duncan on second. Moore comes to his set. Glances back. The wind and the step off. Both runners taking their leads here. The man on deck is Keegan Mahoney, the center fielder. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Outfield shading relatively deep. Charneco in left, Navarro in right, Orozco in center, shading just to the right of the second base bag. Here's the wind and the pitch. Curveball misses. And they're actually going to call it a balk on Connor Moore. So that's going to advance both of the runners, both in the scoring position. So now a meeting at the mound as Kyle Terrell comes out to talk to Connor Moore. And that's going to be a good position for Wade Brigham to be in. So the count is 0-1 as pitch would have been a ball had it not been a walk.
Thank you.
Just resetting the count on the scoreboard now as Brigham steps back into the box. Taps the plate, gets into his stance. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. Curveball just outside. It's going to be 1-1 now after that one. So Moore struggling to settle in. Got a couple strikeouts, but now a double, a walk, and a balk, putting the runners on second and third with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one's right down the middle for strike 2. Good pitch from Moore. And he's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning with no score in the top of the first. Mahoney on deck. Bring him in the box. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. Just low. Handled in the dirt from Terrell. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Fifth batter of the inning for Wakefield as time is called. Brigham takes a big hack outside of the box. Now steps back in. Now here's the set. The wind in the pitch. That one swung on and missed on a breaking ball. Connor Moore gets 3 strikeouts in the top of the first. Stranding runners on second and third. Brigham heads back to the dugout after a great job getting out of the jam from the pitcher Moore. So the Warhawks keep the game scoreless. They'll head to bat in the bottom of the first after this. With Wade Brigham warming up on the mound for the bottom of the first, it's time to introduce the Madison lineup, very similar to the one they had last game in the Concord District Final. Batting first at the top of the order is the pitcher, Connor Moore. After that, the shortstop, Mac Lewis. Bryce Eldridge, the power-hitting first baseman, hits third. Eli Navarro, the right fielder, is fourth. Jason Cassidy, the third baseman, slots in at fifth. Carter Tuff, the DH, who had a big pinch hit last game, hits sixth. Cooper Charneko, the left fielder and pitcher last game, hits seventh. Hector Orozco, the center fielder, is eighth. And Kyle Terrell, the catcher, hits ninth. In the field for the Warriors, they have Brigham at pitcher. Teddy Angel is the catcher. Joey Todd, not in the batting lineup, stands over at first. Mason Bull is at second. Michael Duncan, who hit the double in the top of the first inning, is at short. Charlie Grove stands at third. In left is Bo Branch. In center is Keegan Mahoney. And in right is Peter Burstling.
Leading off for the Warhawks in the bottom of the first inning, the pitcher, number 33, Connor Moore.
So here comes Moore to the plate. Like I mentioned in the top of the inning, a right-handed pitcher who hits left-handed. He faces the right-hander Brigham. Infield giving him a big gap up the middle. And here's the wind and the sidearm pitch just outside for ball one. So Wakefield stranding a couple runners on second and third. They had a double, a walk, and a balk, but could not score. As that pitch is blasted into the right center gap. Will it drop? It will. Moore's going to round first and head for second. He should get there in time as the throw from Burstling comes in too late. It's a stand-up double for Connor Moore to start off the game in style. Like I mentioned, he didn't have a hit last game. Grabs one there very quickly in his first at-bat of the game. And now Mac Lewis, who's on a red-hot streak from the plate as of late, steps up. Cole DeSimone will pinch run for Connor Moore, and Mac Lewis will step to the plate. So Lewis had a great game last game as well. 2 for 3, a walk, a couple of singles. Overall getting very, very solid contact. Always a tough out as he steps into the left-handed batter's box. Lots of space between the second and third base bags and the second and first base bags. Now the middle infield is shaded toward the middle. As that pitch is blocked into the dirt by Teddy Angel. The count is 1-0. Nobody out. Moore stands on second. Bryce Eldridge is on deck. Another righty-lefty matchup as Brigham sets. The wind in the pitch. That one is a fastball hitting the outside corner for strike one. Outfield playing relatively deep on Mac Lewis, especially in center and right. And here's the set. The delivery misses outside. Lewis squared to bunt, pulled the bat back just in time. The count is 2-1. The third baseman Grove shading toward the infield grass. All of the infield now shading in. Here's the set and the pitch. That one's fouled down the third base line. The count is 2-2 as Lewis steps out of the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody down in the bottom of the first as the Concord District champs get their first half inning at the plate since the big one with the game-winning sacrifice fly as Lewis smokes that one straight up the middle into center for a base hit. Mahoney will look to fire it in. Stopping at third is Cole DeSimone after a big turn, and Mac Lewis will head over to first with a single. The Warhawk bats getting hot in the first, as they tend to do, and now Bryce Eldridge steps to the plate. The Warhawks had 2 of their 5 runs in the first last game. They had 8 of their 10 runs in the first inning the previous game against Centerville. It's something about the Warhawks catching these pitchers off guard before they settle in. They've gotten the majority of their runs in the first inning. Now the left-hander Eldridge steps up, and speaking of which, he was the one who hit the 2-run homer in the top of the first to get the Warhawks offense going last game, as that pitch misses low and away. Also had a home run on Tuesday against Centerville, which was a 3-run homer in the first. Had a leadoff double in the bottom of the 7th to start the game-winning rally. Also was intentionally walked a couple times last game and pitched a 1-2-3 top of the 7th as that pitch is low, and Lewis will grab second, putting 2 runners in scoring position for Bryce Eldridge with a 2-0 count. So Eldridge, both of his home runs were to dead center. As here's the wind in the pitch. Breaking ball just outside. The count is 3-0. And that shows you how dangerous he is. Even with 2 runners in scoring position and the threat of a walk looming with nobody out, it's tough to pitch to him. That pitch misses outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk. So Eldridge now with 3 walks in the past 2 games. He starts this game off with 1. And now the bases are loaded and nobody out for the cleanup hitter, Eli Navarro.
Number 22. Eli Navarro.
Navarro is 1 for 3 last game with a single, also reached base on an error. That pitch is inside for ball 1. Nobody out, bases loaded, bottom of the first. Brigham kicks and delivers. That pitch misses low as well. 2-0 count on Navarro. 3 straight batters have reached base for the Warhawks. Cole DeSimone takes his lead off third. It's Lewis on second, Eldridge on first. The pitch is smoked into left center. Will it fall? Branch gets under it. But here comes DeSimone heading to home. He's going to take the first run of the game for the Warhawks. So Eli Navarro with a productive out, a sacrifice fly. The other runners will remain on first and second. But now after that one, the Warhawks take a lead by a score of 1-0.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the third baseman, number 6, Jason Cassidy.
And now Jason Cassidy steps up to the plate. He had that game-winning sacrifice fly to give the Warhawks the Concord District title last game. Also a single and a walk. Swings and misses there on the opening offering for strike 1. So runners on first and second now with 1 out in the inning. The Warhawks having the early lead. Here comes the set. A wind in the pitch. Cassidy lays down a perfect bunt down the third base line. The throw comes over to first. He'll dive into it and be called safe. On the error there, it's an infield hit for Jason Cassidy. He'll reach first on the miscue. It was an errant throw from Brigham, and that's going to load the bases. It would have been a good bunt either way, advancing both the runners into scoring position, but there's still only 1 out as Carter Tuft steps up. Tuft had a single and a pinch hit spot last game when he was pinch hitting for Nico Papathanasu. He now has the bases loaded with an opportunity to extend the lead. The pitch is a nasty breaking ball slider in there for strike 1. The count is 0-1 with nobody out after Cassidy becomes the 4th Warhawk batter to reach base. That next pitch is high. 1-1 is the count on Carter Tuft. Cooper Charneko on deck. Lewis stands on third, Eldridge on second, and Cassidy on first. The wind in the pitch. Tuft chops that one over to short. It's fielded by Duncan. He's going to flip to second. They'll try for 2, but won't get it. Another run's going to score as Carter Tuft grounds into a fielder's choice. The runner advances home. It's going to be the Warhawks 2 and the Warriors nothing. So runners now on first and third with 2 outs.
The left fielder, number 25, Cooper Charneko. Number 24.
So now Cooper Charneko steps up as the Warhawks have grabbed a couple runs. Runner goes, the pitch is outside, throw comes to second, Tuft slides in, and he's out. So Cooper Charneko will not finish his at-bat. It's a caught stealing for Carter Tuft there, but the Warhawks do put up a couple runs in the bottom of the first. Wakefield limits any further damage, but Madison is leading 2-0 to head into the top of the second. Back for the top of the second, the Warhawks have taken an early 2-0 lead on a beautiful day for this VHSL Region 6D quarterfinal. Connor Moore takes the mound. We'll discuss with Bryce Eldridge and Jason Cassidy, the two big heroes of the game last Friday. Now Keegan Mahoney steps up to bat. For the Warhawks, they stranded a runner on second and third in the prior inning after a double from Michael Duncan and a walk from Mason Bull and a balk from Connor Moore. Here's the first pitch to the lefty. Foul down the left field line for strike one. Mahoney in center for this game. Fielded that big single for Mac Lewis earlier. Infield with a big gap by second base as that pitch misses outside. The count is 1-1 on the left-hander. Bo Branch, the left fielder, will be on deck. Moore comes to his set. He had 3 strikeouts in the top of the first. Gets a swing and a miss there to get strike 2. That was a good fastball with a lot of heat on it right down the middle. Getting some velocity on that one. More sets at the belt. The line and the pitch. Another fastball misses low and away. Count is 2-2. Orozco shading just to the left of the second base bag in center field. Outfield playing generally moderately deep. Infield playing back near the outfield grass. The pitch. Curveball, called strike 3. Connor Moore gets another one. He's gotten some called strikeouts today. Now Bo Branch will come up. It's been 4 strikeouts on 4 outs for Moore.
Now batting for Wakefield, the left fielder, number 4, Bo Branch.
Nobody on, 1 out, top of the second. Warhawks lead 2-0 in front of a solid crowd at James Madison High School. The first pitch is way high for ball 1. Teddy Angel, who's behind the plate tonight, stands on deck. Again, for Wakefield, they're coming off a 9-0 loss against Marshall High School in the Liberty District semifinal, as that one's fouled beyond the backstop and out of play for 1 ball and 1 strike, But prior to that, they had defeated Langley 4-3. That was a big victory for them, as It put them into this tournament and kept their season alive, regardless of the result against Marshall, which was for the district and for seeding. The pitch is swung on and missed. Just too quick for Branch, who was behind it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moore with a long look in the set. He holds by the belt. Now the wind and the pitch. That one's low. Gets away from Terrell. Count evens at 2-2. Now Orozco shading more to the right of that second base bag again in center. He shifts back and forth there throughout the game. Has been a regular in center field over those last several. Moore looks in and sets. Here's the wind and the pitch. Low for a full count. So Moore looking to avoid a walk, which would be his second of the game. And his third base runner allowed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the second. There's the high kick and the pitch. Fouled off down the third base line, and staying alive is Bo Branch. Here comes the 7th pitch of the at-bat. The set. Middle infield playing toward the corner bases as that one is swung on and missed for strike 3. 5 strikeouts and 5 outs for Connor Moore. Teddy Angel will come to the plate as Moore has been almost unhittable so far, aside from the double.
Catcher, number 2, Teddy Angel.
Now here's Angel at the plate. High kick in the pitch. That one's blasted down the left field line. Just foul. That's where the double went in the previous inning. That one almost caught fair territory, but could not quite. The count is 0-1 with 2 outs in the inning. Moore comes set. The wind of the pitch. Breaking ball is a cold strike, belt high. Now it's 0-2. Malachi Merriweather stands on deck. Here's the set. And the 0-2 is a curveball low. Angel stays alive with 2 outs and nobody on. Wakefield dugout making some noise. The Warriors looking to get a rally going in this inning as that pitch skips in the dirt right at the mitt of Terrell. 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the second. Angel, the right-hander, gets into his stance. Moore sets, pitching from the stretch. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off just over the backstop and out of play. So Angel staying alive. Trevor Jorman, the injured Warhawk, delivers new baseballs to the umpire. He's out for the season with a broken thumb, which is why we haven't seen him at second base over the last several games. Michael Allen is there instead. It's also been a lot of Kyle Terrell at second, but with Moore on the mound instead of catching, Terrell is behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Moore winds and delivers. That's a breaking ball smashed down the left field line, foul. A lot of power on that one, and good contact from Angel, who knew that one started inside. It was definitely going to start hanging closer toward the plate, and a great job predicting the pitch and getting some contact just a little bit early on it. Here's the wind in the 2-2. Another breaking ball smashed down the left field line. Again, just a little bit early on these slower moving pitches. And it's been a long at-bat. Moore steps back onto the bump. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He sets. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one misses low. The count is 3-2. Now more sets. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch is inside for ball 4. Angel claps his hands as he heads to first. That was a well-deserved walk after he fought off a bunch of foul balls. And now Malachi Merriweather, the DH, steps up in the 9 spot.
Now batting for Wakefield.
It's going to be a pinch runner for Wakefield.
12, Malachi Merriweather.
Riley Sagana will pinch run at first. So now Merriweather will step in. The 9th batter in the order. After this, we'll go to the top of it once again for Wakefield. Runner on first, 2 outs. Moore with the shorter leg kick. He delivers right down the middle with a fastball for strike 1. The walk to Angel was his 2nd of the game. He's also allowed a double, but struck out 5. Bryce Eldridge covering first as Moore comes set. The wind in the 0-1. Swung on and missed right down the middle. Strike 2 there. Bartzling, the right fielder, is on deck. Moore comes set. Looks in. Here's the 0-2. Right down the middle, a called strike 3. Connor Moore with 6 strikeouts through 2 innings. He has been pitching quite well so far this game. Madison will come back out there in the bottom of the 2nd looking to extend their 2-0 lead. We're back for the bottom of the 2nd, and Cooper Charneko, who didn't get to finish his at-bat in the bottom of the 1st, will come back up.
Bottom of the 2nd inning, the left fielder, number 24, Cooper Charneko.
The Warhawks scored a couple runs in the bottom of the 1st inning, but after Carter Tuft was caught stealing, Charneko and the rest of the Warhawks had to go back out in the field. Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard into center. Mahoney's tracking it down into left field and makes the play in deep left center for out number 1. A well-hit ball right to a fielder for Cooper Charneko, and there's 1 away in the inning.
27, Hector Orozco.
Orozco now coming up. He was 0 for 3 last game with 2 strikeouts. So with 1 out in the inning, he'll face Wade Brigham for the first time and swings and misses on the opening offering for strike 1. Warhawks 2, Warriors nothing. Bottom of the 2nd. That one's a called strike 2. So we've just passed 7 o'clock here at James Madison High School. Quick pitch there is a nasty breaking ball that started inside and caught the inside corner for strike 3. That's a tough one to hit. Orozco wasn't expecting it. He got jammed up at the hands. And now there's 2 outs in the inning, and Kyle Terrell, the 9th batter for the Warhawks, will come up.
The catcher, number 14, Kyle Terrell.
Terrell was 0 for 2 with a walk last game. The walk was key as it kept the 6th inning rally alive before Connor Moore got to second base on the error to put the game back within reach. Here's the next pitch. It's a wild one way outside. Brigham comes dancing off the mound. Did not expect that one. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs in the inning. Working quickly, the next pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Infield playing relatively back. It's Joey Todd standing at first, Mason Bull at second, Michael Duncan at third, Michael Duncan at short, and Charlie Grove at third is that one's ball 3. Outfield sheeting relatively deep. The center fielder Mahoney just to the left of that second base bag. There's one just outside for ball 4. Close pitch, and Terrell makes it to first with a 5-pitch walk. And now Connor Moore will come back up. He had a leadoff double in the game last time.
First base as a courtesy runner for the catcher, number 12, Henry Navarro.
So Henry Navarro comes over to first to pinch run. He scored the game-winning run to win the Concord District for the Warhawks. After pinch running for Bryce Eldridge, he came home on the sacrifice fly. So Navarro stands on first with 2 outs, and Moore's at the plate. That pitch is a breaking ball inside. A lot of breaking action on Bringham's pitches so far. We saw that slider that jammed up a Roscoe earlier. He's had a number of those. That throw comes over to first. Todd makes the catch. Back safely is the runner Navarro. Moore, the left-handed hitter, stands in the box as the count is 1-0. Sidearm delivery is chopped foul near the stands by the Wakefield dugout. Ball and a strike. On deck is Mac Lewis, who also had a hit back in the first. Here's the set. And the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Between the movement of the pitches and the sidearm delivery, it can be tough to get a read on where exactly Wade Bringham's going to locate the ball. And with his command being relatively solid, it's tough to hit. That pitch is a slider low. Navarro advances for second and will slide in safely as Moore takes the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with Lewis on deck. Brigham shakes off a sign. And now finally comes to a set in the stretch. Runner in scoring position now. And that pitch is popped to left center. Mahoney jogging toward it, as well as Branch. He's going to be the one to make the play in left center field. So a runner, Terrell, reaches on a walk, but otherwise 3 outs for the Warhawks. They'll come to the top of the third, trying to hold on to their 2-0 lead in the field. Back for the top of the third, Connor Moore comes back to pitch. Through those first 2 innings with a lot of long at-bats and some jams, he has pitched 49 pitches so far. However, he's not allowed to run. There's his last warm-up pitch. The throw comes to second. And we'll be back at the top of the order for Wakefield. He's struck out 6 batters as well. And now Peter Burstling comes up. He struck out his first time up, along with 5 other Wakefield players.
Left over by the snack bar. You're missing a 2-5 from the Lincoln. Dropped it by the snack bar.
Warriors 2, Warhawks nothing. Or excuse me, Warhawks 2, Warriors nothing. Right now, Wakefield's trying to come back into this one.
Number 20, Peter Forsling.
Moore looks in, winds and delivers. That's a breaking ball high for ball 1. Moore comes set quicker than usual. Takes a breath and delivers. That one's going to go through the hole unless Mac Lewis can stop it. He almost did, but Burstling will get a base hit, single in the left. So that's Connor Moore's second base hit allowed today. And with nobody out, he'll have a runner on first to work with as Charlie Grove comes to the plate, who struck out his first time up.
Shortstop, number 8, Charlie Grove.
Good effort there by Mac Lewis at shortstop. He almost made the play. Throw comes over to first, and runners back safely. And with Bryce Eldridge, who is 6'7" or 6'8", depending on who you consult at first, there's a lot of room for error to still make a highlight reel play, which Lewis almost was able to do. The pitch is chopped over to short. This could be 2. Lewis looks at second, throws to first, and gets 1 out, but Burstling was too fast to get 2. So a fielder's choice for actually just a regular ground out for Charlie Grove that advances the runner. And now Michael Duncan will come up. He doubled his first time up. Now with 1 out, has a runner in scoring position. The runner, Burstling, steps off second after the ground ball out from Charlie Grove. Here's the pitch. Duncan chops it just foul down the third base line. A lot of these hitters have been early on the pitches from Connor Moore, not expecting the velocity so far. Not a lot that we've seen go to right field. Moore looks back at second, now steps back onto the hill. Duncan sets in the box. Outfield playing deep. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and foul, tipped into the backstop. Went off the mid of Terrell. The count is 0-2 with 1 out in the inning. So that ground out a batter ago was the first non-strikeout out that Moore recorded. He had 6 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Now another 2-strike count for him against Michael Duncan. He sets. Looks back. Throws over to second. And back safely is Burstling. The count is 0-2 with 1 away. Here comes the set for Moore. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled down the first base line toward the parking lot. And it will miss a car on the first bounce and on the second, miraculously, as there are many driving by as well as ones parked down that first base line, a unique feature of this Warhawk baseball field. Count stays at 0-2 as Moore's pitch count continues to be driven up. He looks back at second. Now sets. Here's the one and the pitch. That one's smoked to right. Navario's under it. He chases it down and he makes the play. Runner tags. Burstling's heading for third. The throw is on target, but just a little late. And the speedy Burstling takes another base. So 2 outs in the inning now after the fly out from Michael Duncan. And now Mason Bull comes up. He walked his first time.
Now batting for Wakefield, the second baseman, number 9, Mason Bull.
Now the left-hander Bull sets. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one misses just outside for a ball. So 2 outs in the inning and another jam for the Warhawks, but they have not allowed a run as of yet. The count is 1-0. And again, Bull, a big power hitter, always dangerous at the plate. The outfield shading very deep. The pitch is swung on and popped foul down the third base line. Trying to chase it is Charnako. He's going to let it go as it falls into the stands, 1-1. Runner on third, 2 outs. Bull steps into the box. Moore with a long set. Here's the next pitch, fouled into the backstop. The count is 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. The Warriors down to their last strike, trying to keep it alive. And coming back into the box is Bull. Wade Brigham, the pitcher, is on deck. Here is the set. High kick in the pitch. That one is just low. Just under the knee is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield back. All of them shading closer to the outfield grass than to the infield grass. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the third. Here's the wind in the pitch. Check swing. And that will miss inside. Good job holding up the bat by Mason Bull. And the count is full. Orozco shading just to the left of the second base bag. And now here's the set. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Connor Moore with his 7th strikeout of the game, getting out of another jam, and the Warhawks keep the Warriors scoreless. We go to the bottom of the third with Madison leading by 2.
For the Warhawks in the bottom of the third inning, the shortstop, number 7, Matt Lewis.
It's the bottom of the third, and the Warhawks lead 2-0, and Mac Lewis, who singled his first time up, is back up at the plate. First pitch from Brigham is a ball 1. So the Warhawks put up their 2 runs in the bottom of the first. No score from either team since. Sidearm delivery is in the dirt for ball 2. Lewis, the left-hander, steps back into the box. The next pitch is just on the outside edge for strike 1. Third baseman Grove shifting in toward the infield grass. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Another wide breaking ball. Slider in the zone for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the wind in the pitch. Misses outside. Now Lewis is back in. Line in the pitch. Misses inside. He heads to first for ball 4. Or is it going to be a called strike 3? It is a called strike 3. Lewis was far down the line. And I thought that one had missed inside, but the umpire thought otherwise. Lewis gets rung up for the first out of the inning. Now it's Bryce Eldridge with nobody on and 1 out. That pitch is a slider in there for strike 1.
For the Warhawks, the first baseman, number 25, Bryce Eldridge.
Next pitch there is outside, 1-1 as Brigham tries to quick pitch it. Navarro on deck. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up. Another quick pitch is tipped into the mitt and off of the mitt of Angel for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eldridge. Outfield standing deep. Eldridge steps back in. Here's the wind. And the 1-2 is a slider just outside and low. The count is even at 2-2. Eldridge had a 2-run homer and a double last game, a couple intentional walks. And that pitch is way high to the backstop, and the count is full. It rolls all the way back, parallel with the pitcher's mound. And it's picked up there by Brigham, who will get a new ball from the umpire. So 2 outs now, or excuse me, 1 out now in the inning as the count is 3-2. Here's the wind of the pitch. Foul tipped to the backstop, and Eldridge stays alive. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. As Brigham, after allowing a couple runs, is trying to settle in, but facing the most dangerous batter in the Warhawk order right now. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ball 4 misses low. So Bryce Eldridge draws another walk. That makes 4 in the past 2 games for him. He has not gotten out at all in the last 2 games.
Wakefield, number 22, Eli Navarro.
Navarro now steps in, and with 4 innings pitched in these playoffs, with 1 run allowed, a couple of homers, a double, a bunch of walks, Bryce Eldridge has been on point, as you would expect. Navarro looks to bunt and misses for strike 1 with 1 out and Eldridge on first. He had a sac fly his first time up. Was 1 for 3 with a single. He also reached base on an error last game. Eldridge takes his lead off first. Here's the wind of the pitch. Misses. Eldridge is going to swipe second as it goes to the backstop. So now Bryce Eldridge stands in scoring position with a 1-1 count. And the right-hander Navarro in the box. Navarro steps in. Count is 1-1. Burstling shading very shallow in right field. The center fielder and left fielder, Mahoney and Branch, not so much. That pitch is way inside, almost hits Eli Navarro. 2 balls and a strike against Wade Brigham. Here's the look in. Long look. And finally the set. Here's the wind and the pitch. Navarro chops it weakly back to the pitcher. Bringham's going to flip it over to first, but Eldridge will advance to third. So with a runner on third and 2 outs, the same situation that the Warriors were in last inning. It's now Jason Cassidy coming to the plate. He reached first base on an error last inning.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the third baseman, number 6, Jason Cassidy.
Or excuse me, not last inning, but his last time up, which was 2 innings ago in the bottom of the first. And Carter Tuft is on deck. Again, Cassidy had that game-winning sacrifice fly to win the Concord District for the Warhawks as that pitch is blasted into left for a base hit. Eldridge will score. Cassidy takes a turn off first, will stay there. That's an RBI single for the third baseman, Jason Cassidy, who's been on point over these last couple games. The Warhawks are up 3-0.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the designated hitter, number 10, Carter Tuft.
So now Tuft comes to the plate. Cassidy takes the lead off first. That first pitch misses. So now the count is 1-0 as Tuft grounded out his first time up. Next pitch is low. He actually hit into a fielder's choice, reached first, but then tried to swipe second and got called out to end the first inning. 2-0 count with 2 outs. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's low. Now a quick 3-0 count on Carter Tuft. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's right down the middle for strike one. Now a set again. Brigham winds and delivers. That one's ball 4. A big walk for Carter Tuft, the second of the inning, and Cooper Charneka will come up. Runners on first and second. And back to Jason Cassidy for a moment as we'll have a meeting at the mound for Wakefield. Jason Cassidy, I got a chance to speak with him after the big walk-off win last game, and he was discussing the moment before and after he hit that sacrifice fly as Peter Bursling is doing push-ups in right field for Wakefield. He talked about how before the at-bat he came up there mainly hyping himself up. You can do this, the positive self-talk. He was emphasizing how much the mental game is involved in performing well on the field. And he did admit that afterwards, as you'd expect, didn't remember much other than the big celebration, as everything was mayhem after that big hit. So we'll have a long discussion at the mound here with Wade Brigham. Looks like he's going to stay in the game for now, but with a couple runners on in the third inning, we'll see if he can get out of it with 2 outs. Cooper Charneka will come up now. Charneka flying out his first time up. It's 0-for-2 with a walk last game. Also pitched 6 innings, a 4-run ball. Here's the set for Brigham. The high kick and the first offering is right in there for strike one.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the left fielder, number 24, Cooper Charneka.
Charneka steps back into the box. And Wade Brigham comes to his set. Here's the 0-1. Slider in there for strike two. So the Warhawks trying to extend the lead, but a couple of early strikes for Brigham, who is reset for the moment. He looks back at second. Winds and delivers. That one swung on and missed way out of the zone for strike three. And a good job by Angel holding onto it to make sure it wasn't a drop third strike. A strikeout there, but Madison scores another run. They're up 3-0 as we head to the top of the fourth after this.
Top of the fourth inning, the pitcher, number 7, Wade Brigham.
Back for the top of the fourth. Wakefield still scoreless against Connor Moore, who's back on the mound. The Warhawks lead this one 3-0, and the pitcher, Wade Brigham, who struck out his first time up, will try to get some run support for his team, which has struck out 7 times already against Connor Moore. Moore sets. Righty-righty matchup here, as that pitch is popped into left center. Chasing it back is the shortstop, Lewis. The left fielder, Charneko, will run in and make the grab for out number 1. So Brigham flies out, and now Keegan Mahoney will head to the plate with one away.
For Wakefield, the center fielder, number 3, Keegan Mahoney.
Here's the wind in the first pitch of the at-bat, just outside for ball 1. 1-0 with 1 out. Moore looks in and sets. The wind in the pitch. One swung on and foul tipped for strike 2. Mahoney steps back in the box. Cassidy creeps out toward the outfield grass at third. Here's the wind in the pitch. Breaking ball out of the zone. Makes it 1-2. Here's the next set. And a fastball goes outside. Count is now 3-1. As Moore comes set and delivers. Low for ball 4. So a big walk for Mahoney there with 1 out in the inning. Branch will come up, who struck out his first time. Branch playing in left field today as Wakefield achieves another base runner trying to score a run. But Moore has pitched around all of these miscues so far. Looks over at first and comes set. The wind and the pitch. That one swung on and smoked deep to left. Chasing it back deep is Charneko, and it's over the wall for a home run. A 2-run shot for Bo Branch puts Wakefield within 1. That one just cleared the left field fence by the foul pole. And now the Warhawks have allowed a couple runs. It's Madison 3 and Wakefield 2. And the Wakefield dugout making the most noise they have all game. They are fired up. So Moore was pitching around the runs early, but it's hard to pitch around it when it's a home run. That was a big blast down the left field line. And now the Warriors getting some offense going as Teddy Angel comes to the plate with 1 out in the inning. Angel walked his first time up. It was a well-deserved walk featuring a number of foul balls. That pitch misses for ball 1. The count is 1-0 with 1 out in the inning. Middle infield shading toward the corner bases. The big gap between the second base bag and the shortstop Lewis. That one's deflected off the helmet of Terrell for a foul ball. The count is 1-1. Now Terrell will jog out to talk to Connor Moore after the home run. Wakefield came into this game off a 9-0 loss to Marshall High School. Before that, beat Langley 4-3. That game was the one that earned them their spot in the region quarterfinal. They're now within 1 against Madison, generating some offense here with 1 out in the 4th, making it close once again. Back to the plate is Terrell. And Angel will follow. 1-1 count with 1 out in the inning and nobody on. It's the Warhawks 3 and the Warriors 2. Now some noise again from that Wakefield dugout. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball right down the middle for strike 2. Moore looking to reset here after his first runs allowed. Another 2-strike count for him. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and popped over the press box and out of play. And Teddy Angel continues to foul him off and drive up Connor Moore's pitch count. One, two count. And Moore comes set. The wind and the pitch is chopped down the third base line. Foul. Staying alive is Angel once again with another foul ball. And Moore comes back to the bump. Teddy Angel making himself someone who's impossible to retire at the plate. The next set. And the wind and the pitch. That one is swung on and smashed foul down the left field line. So 3 two-strike foul balls in a row for Angel. We already have the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And it seems like no matter what, Teddy Angel's bat has a way to find the ball. Orozco shading just toward left center. That pitch is swung on and missed. I think it was barely foul tipped into the mid of Terrell, so technically you could call it contact, but it was the 8th strikeout of the game for Connor Moore, retiring Angel. And with 2 outs in the inning, we'll have a new batter. It's Malachi Merriweather, who struck out his first time up.
Number 12, Malachi Merriweather.
Here's the set from Moore with 2 outs and nobody on in a 3-2 game. The pitch is swung on and missed on a heater above the zone for strike one. Now Moore sets again. Wind and the pitch. Called strike 2. 2 outs in the inning. Moore goes to the belt. The wind and the pitch. Strikes into Merriweather. That's a hit by a pitch. That'll send him over to first. Now back to the top of the order, as that's a 2-out base runner for the Warriors. Peter Burstling comes up, and the game-tying run stands at first base. Burstling had a strikeout and a single his first 2 times up.
Number 20, Peter Burstling.
The right-hander Burstling will step in. Righty-righty matchup with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. It's the Warhawks 3 and the Warriors 2. Burstling steps in. Moore looks at first and sets. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's hammered into left, a base hit. Charneco will look to cut it off. The runner Merriweather advances toward third. Burstling's heading towards second. The throw is not in time. So a couple of hits now today for Peter Burstling. That's a double that sends him over to second. The go-ahead run now stands in scoring position. There are runners on second and third with 2 outs, and Charlie Grove, who struck out and grounded out his first 2 times up, is at the plate. Now a meeting at the mound as the infield comes in to talk to Connor Moore. But a big double there for Wakefield, and now Coach Pudge will come out to the mound for the first time today. Moore has pitched around some hits and walks so far today. Doesn't look like his day will be done for the moment. We're going to see a pep talk, just watching the ball, see if he hands it in or not. It looks like Bryce Eldridge, while the ball is not being handed in yet, is coming out of the game. Could be possibly to warm up in the bullpen. I believe Daniel Nielsen was called out to replace him, but we're going to find out in just a moment. Nielsen now heads out onto the field to talk at the mound. He will enter the game at first base, and we saw Bryce Eldridge pitch in relief last Friday, pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 inning in a close game. Coach Pudge may figure that they'll need him later on, and they'll want him to warm up in the bullpen at some point. Now Grove comes to the plate in just a moment after this substitution is finished. Runners on second and third. It's Burstling at third, or second, and Merriweather at third.
Now, first base for the Warhawks, number 11, Daniel Nielsen. Now batting for Wakefield, the shortstop, number 8, Charlie Grove.
So Charlie Grove comes to the plate, and some noise coming from that Wakefield dugout as they sense a golden opportunity to take the lead here. Moore staying in the game, fires one right down the middle to cheers from the crowd for strike one. No balls and one strike with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Warhawks lead over the Warriors 3-2. Going to the belt is Moore, and the pitch is low for 1-1. Looks like Bryce Eldridge is now in the bullpen in left center, jogging back and forth. Could be that he's starting to warm up to come in maybe for the fifth, maybe for a little later than that. Here's the pitch. That one's smoked into right. It's going to hop in front of Navarro for a base hit. One runner scores. Burstling's hurtling toward home. He scores. Wakefield takes a 4-3 lead on an RBI 2-run single from Charlie Grove. So Connor Moore has allowed all 4 of his runs in this inning. It's the Warriors 4 and the Warhawks 3 in the top of the fourth. And in this road game for Westfield, they continue to have success. Now another meeting at the mound. So that was a big hit there by Grove, who got his first of the night. And now Kyle Terrell jogs off briefly to the dugout. And it looks like Moore will be done as well. Could be that Moore is switching into catcher, but he will finish the game with those 4 runs allowed. Come off to cheers, as we will have a new pitcher coming from the Warhawk bullpen. Appears to be Cale Yates coming into the game for the moment. The Warhawks trail right now 4-3 with 2 outs in the inning. They'll try to get out of this one after this. Should be back and live here in the broadcast. Apologies for my internet issues there, as I believe the broadcast briefly lagged out. Appears we're still live, and I'm not sure how much we missed on there. So to recap, we just had a 2-run single from Charlie Grove. The Warriors took the lead 4-3, and Connor Moore came out of the game at pitcher to come in at catcher. In the game now at pitcher is Cale Yates, the sophomore, who has been very, very effective in relief this season. Bryce Eldridge also recently came out at first base, so possible he could see action sooner rather than later. Yates' first batter will be Michael Duncan. Again, apologies for those technical difficulties. We should be back and rolling now.
Now pitching for the Warhawks, number 1, Cale Yates. Now catching for the Warhawks, number 33, Connor Moore. Now batting for Wakefield with third baseman, number 5, Michael Duncan.
Now at the plate is Duncan. He had a double his first time up, a fly out his second. Yates' first offering is swung on and blasted to center. Orozco's going to get under it, and he makes the play and gets out of the inning. Just one pitch for Cale Yates, and we've got the third out. But it's a 4-run fourth for the Warriors. They lead now 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the fourth after this. We're back for the bottom of the fourth. The Warhawks trail 4-3 in this VHSL 6D region quarterfinal. Now Hector Orozco will come to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Wade Brigham remains in the game as that's a called strike on his first pitch. Wakefield with a 4-run top of the fourth, capped by that 2-run Charlie Grove single that brought Connor Moore out of the game as that one's swung on and missed for strike 2. The Warhawks scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third. They now trail by 1. That pitch is way inside, and somehow, I'm not sure how that avoided hitting Hector Orozco. Some good avoidance tactics there. That one's 1-2. The pitch is way outside as Brigham working quickly evens the count. So it's the bottom of the fourth as we're just after 8 o'clock. Sunset is coming soon. That pitch is a breaking ball way inside. 3-2 now is the count on Orozco. Now noise coming from the Madison dugout, who will try to rally and retake the lead. The pitch is blasted to right, and it falls just foul. Orozco getting some solid contact on it. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Orozco comes back into the box. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's ball 4 just outside. So Hector Orozco gets a no-out walk. He will head over to first. And that'll be an opening base runner for the Warhawks. Now Kyle Terrell will come back to the plate. Terrell walked his first time up.
Number 14, Kyle Terrell.
Runner on first, nobody out against Brigham. The Wakefield Warriors winning by 1 on the road in this region quarterfinal. The pitch is bunted down the first base line, fielded there. Coming to chase down Terrell and tag him out is the second baseman, Mason Bull. It advances the runner, Orozco, and with 1 out, he'll go to second on the sacrifice bunt. So now Orozco is in scoring position as Connor Moore will come up for the third time today. Moore pitched 4 innings, allowed 4 runs, had a double and a flyout at the plate so far today. Now with Orozco on second, he'll look to drive him in. Brigham looks in, and now comes set. Mahoney shading dead center as the pitch is outside for ball 1. Mac Lewis stands on deck. The lefty Moore, who hits left-handed and pitches right-handed, steps into the box. Here's the set. The high kick and the pitch is a slider for a called strike. Count evens at 1-1. Moore comes back into the box. Here's the set from Brigham. The pitch is fouled to the backstop. 1-2 is the count. And now Brigham sets. He steps off after the leg kick and walks around behind the mound. With 1 out in the inning, a chance for the Warhawks to try to tie the game with the game-tying run in scoring position. Orozco dancing around off of second. The wind in the pitch is low and in the dirt. Orozco slipped in the dirt. Now heads back to second. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Back to the bump. Now is Brigham. Back in the box is Moore. 2-2 with 1 out in the inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's popped to left center. Mahoney running it down. He'll be cut off by the left fielder, Branch, instead. Throw comes to third as Orozco tagged up. It was offline, and Orozco does get there. So a fly out there with 2 outs in the inning now after that one. And Mac Lewis steps up with Orozco on third. He'll try to drive him in with a hit. Lewis has a single and a strikeout today.
The shortstop, number 7, Mac Lewis.
Now Lewis steps into the box. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's just outside for ball 1. Bryce Eldridge, or actually Daniel Nielsen, pinch hitting for Bryce Eldridge, is on deck. The next pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, we saw Eldridge out in the bullpen moments ago. Hard to see exactly what's going on back there, but it could have been that he's warming up to come in the game. That pitch is inside. 3-0. So it's possible Brigham more comfortable now to pitch away from Mac Lewis with Eldridge not lurking in the on-deck circle, but Daniel Nielsen can also be effective at the plate as well. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So runners at the corners now with 2 outs, and it's up to Daniel Nielsen. Or never mind, excuse me, it's Bryce Eldridge. Nielsen was standing in the on-deck circle, and it's going to be Eldridge who had 2 walks in there instead.
Now batting for the Warhawks, number 25, Bryce Eldridge.
And they're going to intentionally walk Bryce Eldridge. 3 at-bats and 3 walks for him. That was at least the first one that was intentional. So now we've had 3 different hitters that we thought would be up. Nielsen initially standing in the on-deck circle did not come to the plate. Eldridge gets the walk, and now Eli Navarro comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Warriors 4, Warhawks 3. Navarro has a sac fly and a ground out today. And now the crowd making some noise. Brigham steps back up to the mound. Could have been some trickery there by Coach Pudge as Navarro blasts that one to center. Mahoney's going to track under it, try to make the play, and makes the catch. So they will get out of the inning, stranding the bases loaded after the flyout. The trickery of pretending like Bryce Eldridge was not on deck did not work out for the Warhawks. They strand the bases loaded. They're still down by 1 as we head to the top of the 5th after this. Back for the top of the fifth. Warriors 4, Warhawks 3. Cale Yates stays out there after throwing just one pitch in the fourth. And he'll face the cleanup man, Mason Bull, who walked and struck out his first 2 times up.
Wakefield, top of the fifth inning, the second baseman, number 9, Mason Bull.
Sophomore Yates winds and delivers. Hard fastball misses outside for ball 1. Wade Brigham, the pitcher, standing on deck for the moment. As here's the wind and the pitch. That one's low. Count is 2-0, and Yates pitching away from Bull now, who is the big power hitter in that Warriors lineup. Always a threat to go yard. We've already had 1 homer today. That pitch is a called strike 1 on a heater. Bryce Eldridge comes back in at first, so it appears the decision to send him to the left center field was only a scare tactic by Coach Pudge, as he's back in like normal, as that one swung on and missed. Yates ended up coming out of the bullpen, and Eldridge, after initially not standing in the on-deck circle, probably prompted a more careful approach to Mac Lewis, who got walked, and then Eldridge came out of the dugout to go hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch is smoked toward the second baseman, Allen, who misses the play into the outfield. It's going to be an error as Mason Bull reaches first on a hard hit ball there. With nobody out, we got a runner on first. Actually, it was the second baseman, Terrell, who missed the play, as Allen was replaced by Terrell when Connor Moore went to catcher. Now Wade Brigham, the right-hander, comes to the plate. Eldridge guarding first. As the throw comes in, runners back safely. But had the runners been driven in, the tactic would have certainly worked for the Warhawks, because it essentially got them a free walk, and then the other intentional walk to Eldridge as well. Here's the pitch. Throw comes over to first as that one misses, and back safely is the runner after a hard tag from Eldridge. The count is 1-0. Now coming set is Yates. Cassidy creeping far in the infield grass for a potential bunt, which is popped over the backstop for strike 1. 1-1 count. Nobody out. Runner on first after the error. And Yates will try to work through it. Brigham, the right-hander, getting ready to step back in. Wakefield holds a 1-run lead in the top of the fifth at 8:11 p.m. here at James Madison High School. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's bunted in front of home plate. Yates picks it up, throws over to first, gets 1 out. Sacrifice bunt, though, does send the runner to second. So now Keegan Mahoney will come up after Brigham's sack bunt. 1 out in the inning, and Bull is in scoring position. Mahoney struck out and walked his first 2 times up. He stands in the left-handed batter's box with 1 away in the inning. Yates comes set. Righty-lefty matchup here. Here's the high kick in the pitch. That one misses high and outside for ball 1. Yates looks back in. Moving off second is Bull. Here's the wind and the pitch. Heater, high, too high for the zone. Now the count is 2-0. Yates comes set again. Next pitch is in the dirt. Bull almost went for third. Moore forces him back. 3-0 count now. Yates looks in on the 3-0 count. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Now Yates comes set again. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and foul tipped into the mid of Moore. And now the count is full. Big comeback in the count for Yates With 1 out in the inning, he will work to get Mahoney retired. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off of the foot of Mahoney, who's now limping around, trying to walk it off. Throw comes back to the pitcher's mound there. Count stays at 3-2. So Mahoney now holding his leg, trying to limp it off. Got a couple coaches coming to talk to him. He seems to want to stay in the game, but we'll see if he can. Hopefully he's all right. Trying to walk it off, but having trouble putting full weight on that foot. Now he's adjusting his shoe. And now going to a knee to untie and retie. So a brief pause in the action here in the top of the 5th with 1 out and a runner on second. The Warriors got all 4 of their runs back in the 4th inning. The Warhawks scored 2 in the first, 1 in the 3rd. Mahoney now comes back to his feet to some cheers. And now he's going to jog off down the first base line, try to get back into running shape. He runs his way back. It looks like he will stay in. Good to see he's okay. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out in the inning as Mahoney steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Again, he struck out and walked his first 2 times up. Now he's facing Yates for the first time. Here's the set. And the throw over to second. Back safely is the runner pull. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Outfielders shading relatively deep as the Warriors lead by 1. Here's the set. High kick in the pitch. Misses just low and away for ball 4. So a key walk for Mahoney. Now there's 2 runners on for the Warriors, and we'll have a meeting at the mound with Cale Yates as Branch will come up with 1 out in the inning. Yates has recorded 2 outs so far. And now here at the meeting at the mound, he will hand in the ball. Jason Cassidy steps up to the mound. It looks like he will pitch next. Believe Yates is staying in the field, possibly replacing Cassidy at third base. So now a new pitching change for the Warhawks. It's Cassidy, who we've seen a lot in the past couple of games, trying to get out of this jam in a moment after this break. Now Jason Cassidy has finished warming up with runners on first and second and 1 out. And it could have had to do with the fact that Bo Branch, who had a home run his last time up, is now at the plate. Dangerous hitter, also struck out today. He had the 2-run home run that got the rally started against Connor Moore back in the 4th. Moore ended up pitching 3 2/3, allowing 4 runs. Here's the first pitch. It's bunted. Foul. Goes into the backstop. Yates allowed a couple base runners, one on an error.
For Wakefield, left fielder, number 4, Bo Branch.
Now the count is 0-1 as Cassidy has entered the game. We last saw him pitch against Centerville. It was a bit of a blowout in that one. The final score was 10-4. Pretty easy win for Madison. Now they're in more trouble here, down by 1 as that one is ball 1, excuse me. 1-1 is the count, 1 away in the inning. Top of the 5th, Warhawks trail 4-3. The set. And the pitch is swung on and missed. A big hack. Jason Cassidy blows it by him. Count is 1-2. Cassidy now stares in and comes set. Here's the one in the pitch. That one's hit towards short. A diving play is made by Lewis. He hops up quick, fires to second, and gets the out. What a play at short by Mac Lewis. That is a defensive gem that few players would be able to make. Branch grounds into a fielder's choice. And now there are runners at the corners with 2 outs. And that 1 out being recorded is huge as it eliminates the possibility of a sacrifice fly. Now Teddy Angel comes to the plate. He's been a tough out today. Had a couple of long at-bats, a walk, and a strikeout. Throw comes over to first. The runner branches back safely. So runners on the corners. The Warhawks trail by 1 in the top of the 5th. And impressive was the diving play, but perhaps more so, as that one swung and missed for strike 1, was how fast Lewis hopped up. He was prepared to spring from his knees to his feet instantly and make the play with time to spare. Was some incredibly quick reflexes that we saw on display right there. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs as Cassidy comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed right down the middle. The Warhawks are 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. The count is 0-2. Angel stays in. He's been good with 2 strikes today. Here's the set. Winding the pitch. That one swung on and popped to right. Navarro chasing in. Terrell chasing out. And Navarro makes the catch on the run for out number 3. So a couple of nice defensive plays and some good pitching from Jason Cassidy get the Warhawks out of the inning. They'll go to the bottom of the 5th, only down by 1. We'll be back after this.
for the Warhawks in the bottom of the fifth inning. The pitcher, number 6, Jason Cassidy.
So now we got a new pitcher. It's the left-hander Keegan Mahoney. Checking in left field is Evan Lease now as Bo Branch moves over to center. That first pitch is a called strike. So Mahoney was in center. He's now pitching. And that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Final line is 4 innings of 3-run ball for Wade Brigham. Now the count is 0-2. That pitch misses for ball 1. Bottom of the 5th, Warhawks trying to stage a rally. Here's the one in the pitch. That one swung on and missed for strike 3. Cassidy tried to run for first. It was not a dropped third strike after all. And Mahoney records his first out.
Now batting for the Warhawks, a designated hitter, number 10, Carter Tuft.
So now Tuft comes in to bat. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time and walked his second time up. That pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike. 0-1 with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the wind in the next pitch. That's fouled off for strike 2. So Tuft steps down to the box. Now behind in the count. Outfield shading relatively deep. 0-2 with 1 out. Here's the wind in the pitch. It's low and gets away from the catcher, Teddy Angel. The count is 1-2 and Cooper Charneko is on deck. Warriors 4, Warhawks 3. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is a called strike 3. It rings up Carter Tuft. 2 outs in the inning with nobody on, and the relief pitcher Mahoney has been very effective here. Charneko will come to bat. He's flied out his first time, struck out his second time.
Left fielder, number 24, Cooper Charneko.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's the one in the pitch. That one is blasted to right. Tracking in on it and making the catch is the outfielder Bertzling. And that will be a 1-2-3 inning. So Bertzling makes the play to get out of it. Strikeout, fly out for the Warhawks. They'll have 2 frames left to try to make a comeback. We go to the top of the 6th after this. We're back for the top of the 6th inning here at James Madison High School. And coming into the game for the 3rd consecutive game to pitch is Bryce Eldridge. We'll see Eldridge is the 4th different pitcher for Madison after Jason Cassidy recorded the final 2 outs of the 5th. We saw him pitch a 1-2-3 inning against Westfield in their last game last Friday to clinch the Concord District title, or actually keep the game tied before the go-ahead run came in. Now Eldridge comes in to try to keep it a 1-run game for the moment. And he sets up. He had 3 innings pitched against Centerville with 1 run allowed in that. Last game he had a 2-run homer, a double, a couple of walks. This game he's walked all 3 times he's been up. Wakefield's been afraid to pitch to him, but they can't avoid him now as he's on the mound. The projected first-round MLB draft pick in June. And Concord Co-District Player of the Year, along with Johnny Farmello of Westfield, who's a projected second-round pick at this time in the MLB draft. A couple of great players, future minor leaguers that we saw, and possibly major leaguers that we saw face off last Friday. So Bryce Eldridge is on the mound.
Yeah, first base for the Warhawks, number 24, Cooper Charnenko.
So now coming to bat for the third time today is Malachi Merriweather. Struck out his first time, was hit by a pitch his second time up. That one swung on and missed for strike one.
Now batting for Wakefield, designated hitter, number 12, Malachi Merriweather.
Here's the 0-1. That one misses just barely. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eldridge rocks, kicks, and delivers. That fastball is smoked to left, looking to make the play and chasing it down toward the wall. The Warhawks, they're not able to. Going towards second is Merriweather. He comes in with a leadoff double off of Bryce Eldridge. Will Norman, the one checking in and left, and he couldn't quite make it toward the left field wall. That one was smoked on a fastball, a rare big hit off of Eldridge to start off the inning right for Wakefield, who has a runner in scoring position with nobody out. So again, top of the 6th, Warhawks trail 4-3. And now we're going to have a pinch runner for Merriweather as Cameron Gonzalez comes to second.
The pinch runner, number 21, Cameron Gonzalez.
So that double for Merriweather was his first hit today. Now Peter Bertzling will come up.
Number 20, the right fielder, Peter Bertzling.
So with Norman going into left, it's now Cooper Charnenko, as you just heard moments ago, over at first. So the Warhawks doing a number of substitutions today. Runner on second, nobody out as Eldridge tries to reset. Here's the pitch. Bunt attempt is a strike. So Eldridge has been dominant on the mound this year. And at the plate, has not been gotten out yet in these last 2 games. Eldridge comes set. Glances back at second, now winds and delivers. That one's bunted toward the first base side. Charnenko makes the play, throws over to Terrell at first, who was there in time. That advances the runner on a sacrifice bunt. So with 1 out, there's now a runner on third against Eldridge, who has only given up 4 earned runs all season. So Bertzling with a couple of hits, sack bunt today, and a strikeout. Now Charlie Grove comes up. He had a key single last time he was up. Also had a strikeout and a ground out this game. Lead 4-3. Outfield cheating relatively deep. Here's the pitch. That one's high for ball 1. Stepping back into the box is Grove. Infield in to try to get the out at home if needed. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind in the pitch. That one swung and popped weakly into the outfield. Orozco's chasing, and it falls under in right center. Run's going to score. It was a little blooper that neither of the outfielders seemed to be able to read under the lights. So that probably would have fallen either way, but it is just the 5th earned run now off of Bryce Eldridge all year. So Eldridge allows that one. It's a single for Charlie Grove. And the Warriors are up 5-3.
Now batting for Wakefield, the third baseman, number 5, Michael Duncan.
Now Michael Duncan comes up, and he's been hitting well today. He had a double back his first time up in the first. Fly out and another fly out. Now Cale Yates talking to Bryce Eldridge. 1 out in the inning, runner on first. And the Warriors able to get their bats going even off of Madison's best pitcher. Duncan stands in with a 2-run lead. Here's the wind in the pitch. That one swung on and missed. Too fast for him on a fastball. Eldridge now coming out with the heaters. Count is 0-1. He now stares in. 6'7" Eldridge comes set. The wind and the pitch. Misses inside, 1-1. Stepping back into the box is Duncan now, who's at third base today. Mason Bull on deck. Throw comes to first, back safely is the runner Grove. One and one count with one out. Eldridge shakes off a couple signs, looks at first, now sets. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball, maybe his fastest of the night. Misses low and away, 2-1. Definitely want to get a radar gun on that one. That had to be in the mid-90s. Eldridge now looks over at first, comes set. 2-1 count. Wind in the pitch. High in the zone, a called strike two. Westfield's dugout wasn't too happy with it. The count is now even. One out in the inning and a potential double play is on the table, which would be big for Madison as they could avoid Mason Bull, the power hitter who stands on deck. What the matchup that would be between Bryce Eldridge and Mason Bull. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Time is called by the hitter. Also got the chance to speak with Bryce Eldridge after Madison's victory. He talked about his attitude both on the mound and at the plate. How it's just pretty simple. I'm better than you. And most of the time he is. Whether it's being the MVP in the under-18 baseball World Cup or pitching at the high school level, he's almost always been better than everybody he's faced, including Michael Duncan as he gets him to strike out. So 2 outs in the inning. And Eldridge, with an excellent performance last game, retires another batter there. And now we'll face Mason Bull.
Now batting for Wakefield, the second baseman, number 9, Mason Bull.
Here comes the pitch. That one swung on and hit deep to right. Tracking it is Navarro. He's trying to race it down, and he makes the catch under the lights. So Bryce Eldridge retires the batters, gets 1 run allowed, but gets out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Warriors 5, the Warhawks 3. We'll be back after this. Back for the bottom of the 6th. Hector Orozco will come to the plate as Madison now trails by 2. A rare earned run allowed off of Bryce Eldridge in the top of the inning. But Eldridge was able to reset and get some outs. Orozco struck out his first time, walked his second. That first pitch is low. 1-0 count with nobody out. That next pitch misses for ball 2. So Orozco getting ahead in the count here. Facing off against Keegan Mahoney in his second inning. That one's taken high and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Lots of noise coming from the crowd in the dugout. And that one misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk there for Hector Orozco, his second walk of the day. And Kyle Terrell comes up. He had a walk and a sac bunt his first 2 times up. Runner on first, nobody out. Terrell at the plate. Warhawks trail by 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Have 2 frames left to make a comeback, trying to keep their season alive here in this region quarterfinal against Wakefield. So now there'll be a quick meeting at the mound. Brigham jogs back to first base where he went after checking out of the game for Mahoney last inning. And now Terrell comes to the plate. Here's the set. Left-hander Mahoney fires. That one gets away. Orozco is going to dig for second and around the base, getting into scoring position with nobody out. The count is 1-0. The Warhawks had a 6-inning rally last game from a 4-2 deficit. They'll try to do the same here, being down 5-3. Initially, they were up 3-0 after the bottom of the 3rd, but then allowed 4 runs in the 4th off of Connor Moore. That pitch is low on a check swing. So now the count is 1-1. Here's the wind in the next pitch. Called strike 2. So Terrell steps back into the box with Orozco at second. And Mahoney waves at his catcher after calling time, and he'll talk with Angel at the mound. So Terrell at the plate as we'll get through the 3rd time through the order here for the Warhawks. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Orozco standing off second. Here's the wind in the pitch. Misses inside for ball 2, right on the hands of Terrell, who will stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield shading relatively shallow. That pitch is a called strike 3. Terrell tried to dodge it. He thought it was inside, but he gets rung up there for his first strikeout of the day. Back to the top of the order with 1 out in the inning, and it's Connor Moore who doubled and flied out twice his first 3 times at the plate.
Now batting for the Warhawks, number 33, the catcher, Connor Moore.
So Moore steps up with Orozco on second. Key inning here for Madison to try to draw even once again. The game-tying runs at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup here, and the pitch. It's a curveball for strike 1. Coach Pudge and the Warhawks have faced a lot of these lefty-lefty matchups. He likes the experience that his 3 lefties at the top of the order and Moore, Lewis, and Eldridge have gathered against these southpaws. And that pitch is smoked through the gap toward the second baseman. Fielded cleanly there, and the throw from Bull comes to first in time for the out. Runner Orozco advances to 3rd with 2 outs in the inning. It's now up to Mac Lewis to keep the rally alive.
For the Warhawks, the shortstop, number 7, Mac Lewis.
So Moore going to talk to Lewis there, getting solid contact off of him. And Lewis, one of the best hitters to have up in this moment. Single, a strikeout, and a walk today. He was 2 for 3, a couple singles last game and a walk. That pitch is fouled to the backstop. 0-1 is the count. With Orozco standing on 3rd in the bottom of the 6th. Now Lewis steps back in. The set. And the pitch. That one's hit hard to left. Trying to chase it in and not getting there and allowing the run to score is the left fielder, Evan Lease. So getting home is Orozco. It's going to be a bloop single for Mac Lewis. And the Warhawks are within 1 with the game-tying run standing on first. And Bryce Eldridge at the plate. Bryce Eldridge has been walked all 3 times he's been up today. Coming back to the plate, looking to get a big run. The Warhawks are within 1 run. It's a 5-4 game here in the bottom of the 6th after the single from Lewis. Eldridge had a home run last game. He swings and misses at the first one for strike one. As I talked about in the top of the inning, Eldridge, both on the mound and at the plate, has that attitude. I'm better than you. His focus isn't to flex or brag or anything, rather to keep himself focused on his job. And as he knows, he has the ability to do great things on the baseball field, as that one's high and inside. 1-1 is the count. That's his best way of maintaining his dominance as one of the best two-way prospects in recent years. 1-1 count with 2 outs. The pitch is outside, 2-1. Eldridge, the left-hander, steps back in. Outfield deep. The pitch is chopped to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Warhawks with 1 run already in the inning, trying to keep it alive. This could be a good opportunity to do so, given who's at the plate. 5-4 game in the bottom of the 6th. Mahoney winds and delivers. That one's outside. Count is full. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Lewis on first, 1-run game in this region quarterfinal in the bottom of the 6th as night has fallen here at James Madison High School. Mahoney looks at first and throws. Misses, ball 4. So Eldridge on 4 at-bats has had 4 walks, 1 intentional walk. And now Eli Navarro will step up. He had a sacrifice fly, a ground out, and a fly out his first 3 times up.
Number 22, Eli Navarro.
Runners are on first and second with 2 outs in the inning. And now one of the Warhawk coaches will have a discussion with the umpire. Navarro, the cleanup man, coming in. Cole DeSimone will pinch run for Bryce Eldridge, who is currently the pitcher. Eldridge will come back to the dugout. It is a 1-run game now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Navarro coming up with the go-ahead run, and Cole DeSimone standing on first. Game-tying run in scoring position at second. Outfield shading deep. 2 outs in the inning. Mahoney versus the right-hander Navarro. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. That one swung on and chopped toward the first baseman. Through the hole for a base hit. Lewis is going to round third. Throw comes in. He dives for the plate, and this one is tied. Eli Navarro did not have a hit yet today until now. He advances Cole DeSimone to third and sends Mac Lewis home. How about that? Coming out swinging on the first pitch. The Warhawks have tied this one up at 5. It's another 6th inning rally for Madison.
Now batting for the Warhawks.
Now with a runner on first, Jason Cassidy comes to the plate. He had the big sacrifice fly to win the game against Westfield on Friday. The Warhawks have now drawn even with 2 runs in this inning. Standing on first is Navarro with a big hit under his belt. That one's right down the middle for a called strike 1. That was chopped right toward first base side. Brigham wasn't quite able to bring it in. Now it's an 0-1 count on Cassidy. 2 outs. Here's the set. And that one's high for ball 1. The Warhawks have done what they needed to do and tie the game. But of course, a lead would be ideal. That's what they'll try for here with runners on the corners. Navarro on first, Cole DeSimone on third. Here's the pitch. Misses the zone. Navarro heads for second, makes it safely, and 2 runners stand in scoring position for Jason Cassidy. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs in the inning. What a chance this is for the Warhawks. Cassidy takes a hack outside of the box. And now he'll step in. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs in this region quarterfinal. The wind and the pitch. Inside, misses. 3-1 is the count. Mahoney in a tough spot, trying to calm himself down, but the Warhawks bats are getting hot at the right time. 3 balls and a strike. Runners on second and third. Mahoney sets. The wind and the pitch. Misses low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Jason Cassidy draws a big walk. And now Carter Tuft will come to the plate with a fielder's choice, a walk and a strikeout. Now the bases are loaded for him in a big spot. Meeting at the mound here with 2 outs in the inning in a tie game, and Wakefield needs desperately to strand these 3 runners. Entire infield in to discuss here, and Carter Tuft talking with a coach about what to do here in this at-bat. He had a pinch hit single last game. But again, just a huge hit from Eli Navarro to drive in Mac Lewis and get the game-tying run. Mahoney will stay in. Trevor Jormond, the injured Warhawk, talking to Carter Tuft. And Tuft will come up to cheers from the crowd. Listen to the noise right here in the bottom of the 6th. This one is tied at 5, and Tuft will step in. The set from Mahoney. Base is loaded. The pitch is right down the middle on the inside corner for strike 1. On first is Cassidy. On second is Navarro. On third is DeSimone. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's fouled off into the parking lot. And out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the inning. Tuft will step back in with the game tied at 5. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's fouled off to the backstop. Tuft is staying alive, staying tough in the batter's box. 2 runs already in this inning for the Warhawks. The go-ahead run stands on third. So close. The pitch is a curveball in the zone for strike 3. A great pitch from Keegan Mahoney keeps the game tied. It's a called strikeout for Carter Tuft to end the inning. We'll go to the top of the 7th. What will be a climactic finish. Don't go away. We got some epic action coming up after this. Back for the top of the 7th in a 5-5 game. Warhawks and Warriors all knotted up, and Bryce Eldridge is back out for his second inning of work.
Number 7, Wade Brigham.
So now Wade Brigham comes to the plate to face off against Eldridge, who allowed 1 run in the prior inning. That first pitch is fouled off on a fastball into the parking lot for strike 1. Brigham, the starting pitcher today, had a strikeout, a flyout, and a sac fly. Allowed 3 runs to the Warhawks in his work. That pitch is a ball. Count even at 1-1. Eldridge with 4 walks at the plate today. He winds and delivers. That one's dropped by Connor Moore. It is ball 2. 2-1 count now on Brigham. Eldridge working quickly, fires. That one's foul, tipped to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we've had a few pitchers for the Warhawks so far. Moore came in first, then Cale Yates was second, Jason Cassidy after that, and Bryce Eldridge came in for the sixth and is staying in for the seventh. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the one in the pitch. Swing and a miss! One down in the top of the inning. Bryce Eldridge gets a key strikeout on Wade Brigham. Now Keegan Mahoney comes up. Pitcher in that last inning, he'll hit from the left-handed batter's box. He's had a strikeout and a couple of walks today.
Wakefield, the center fielder, number 3, Keegan Mahoney.
That first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Sorry, the pitcher, Keegan Mahoney.
0-1. Eldridge's next offering is high and away. Ball 1. Eldridge walks around the mound, now comes set again. Here's the wind and the pitch way inside. Almost hit Mahoney. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out here. Eldridge goes into his delivery quickly and sets. That one's blasted to right. It's going down the line, and it leaves the park. It's gone. A go-ahead solo home run for Keegan Mahoney. That's the second home run of the game for Wakefield. And Bryce Eldridge has allowed 2 runs in 2 innings. It's the Warriors 6 and the Warhawks 5. That was a moonshot, and Mahoney knew it right away. And this dugout is fired up, as they should be. So 1 gone in the inning as Eldridge allows a blast down the right. That was a no-doubter.
Number 4, Bo Branch.
Now Bo Branch comes to the plate. The Warhawks relinquish their lead. First pitch in there for a strike. So Branch has a strikeout, a 2-run homer, and a fielder's choice today. That pitch is a called strike on the inside edge. 0-2 with 1 out. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. On the outside corner, called strike 3. So a quick 3-pitch strikeout for Bryce Eldridge. With 2 outs in the inning, he'll now face the tough out Teddy Angel, who walked, struck out, flied out his first 3 times up.
The catcher, number 2, Teddy Angel.
Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's fouled off into the helmet of Terrell for strike 1. Terrell now walks out to the mound. Or excuse me, not Terrell. Connor Moore walks out to the mound to talk to Bryce Eldridge. Now heads back to the plate. Terrell, catching earlier in the game, now stands at second. Here comes the wind and the pitch. That one swung on and missed. Tough one to get to. 0-2 on the outside. Charneco at first. Lewis at shortstop. Cassidy at third. 1-run deficit for the Warhawks. Eldridge looks in. Winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Eldridge fans another one. That's his 3rd strikeout this inning. But the damage was done on 1 run. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Warhawks trying to keep their season alive in the region quarterfinals. Down 6-5. We'll be back after this. New pitcher in the game as we're back for the bottom of the 7th. Mason Bull will try to get the save on the road and keep Wakefield's season alive, while the Warhawks will look for a final inning comeback. Cooper Charnako will come up to bat first. Warhawks got 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, but the solo home run off of Bryce Eldridge from Keegan Mahoney put Wakefield back up by 1. Charnako has flied out twice and struck out today. As the Warhawks need a rally here and now. Just 1 run to tie. 2 runs in this inning would walk it off. Bull, the cleanup hitter today. Hard thrower. Gets hard contact at the plate as well. We've had homers from Bo Branch today, as well as Keegan Mahoney, so a lot of power in this Wakefield lineup, as we found out. And now Cooper Charnako will come to the plate.
Mason Bull. Leading off for the Warhawks in the bottom of the 7th inning. Number 24, Cooper Charnako.
It's time. Bottom of the 7th, nobody out. Outfielders shading deep. Warriors lead 6-5. There's the wind and the pitch. That first one is a called strike at the knees, 0-1. So again, Charnako 0 for 3 today. Steps back into the box. Bull working quickly. The pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Charnako steps back in. Bull already into the wind. And the 1-1 is low. Good eye from Charnako. 2 balls and a strike. Charnako steps back into the box. The count is 2-1. Bull into the wind. And the pitch is popped foul down the first base line. Trying to chase it back, tracking toward the fence, and unable to make the catch there is the new first baseman, Joey Todd. Count is 2-2. So Brigham was at first to replace Todd. Now Todd's back in his old spot. Here's the set. The wind and the pitch. Misses low. Bull wanted strike 3. It's now a full count. He gasped after that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and a good eye from Cooper Charnako. Big pitch coming up. Here it is. Low ball 4. A leadoff walk for Cooper Charnako. The game-tying run stands on first. And now Hector Orozco will come to the plate. He's had a couple walks and a strikeout today.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the center fielder, number 27, Hector Orozco.
Orozco, the right-hander, will step up with Charnako on first. Nobody out. 6-5 Warriors lead. Here's the set. Bull pitching from the stretch, fires. Gets a called strike 1. Now Orozco stands in again. Bull sets. Looks down. Orozco sets to bunt, and now Bull steps off. Todd covering first as Charnako steps off. The pitch is bunted to the backstop for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. And now with 2 strikes, unlikely we see Orozco bunting. He steps back in the right-handed batter's box. Charnako off first. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 1 down in the inning. So Orozco with his second strikeout today. Now Kyle Terrell comes up. He had a walk, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout.
Number 13, Kyle Terrell.
Terrell coming to the plate. Runner on first, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, the Warhawks trail by 1. Bull staring in and comes set. Runner goes, the pitch is low. No throw comes, and Charnako is now in scoring position. That is huge. The count is 1-0. Terrell steps back into the box. Big hole on the first base side. As that pitch is a called strike on the outside edge, 1-1. 1 out in the inning. Now here's the set again. Bull looks back at second. The wind and the pitch. Just misses outside on a breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Terrell staying in it, staying patient. Taps his bat, steps into the box. The count is 2-1. Bull looks back. Winds and delivers. That one misses outside, 3-1. Bull now steps back to the mound. Terrell taps the plate. A look back. Another glance back. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed by Terrell. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The Warhawks trail by 1 in the bottom of the 7th. They led 3-0 at one point in this game, lost the lead in the 4th. Now here's in the pitch. Misses just low for ball 4. So Terrell with a great eye. That one was near the edge, and that'll be his 2nd walk of the game. And now with 1 out and the runners on 1st and 2nd, Connor Moore comes up. He had a double, a couple of flyouts, and a ground out today, and now a meeting at the mound will happen with Mason Bull. Runners on 1st and 2nd. 1 out in the inning. Warriors lead the Warhawks 6-5. Madison has the go-ahead run standing on 1st. Moore at the plate.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the catcher, number 33, Connor Moore.
Moore getting ready. Adjusting his gloves. Stepping in. Outfield playing deep. Bull looks back. Winds and delivers. That one swung on and fouled in the backstop. 0-1. Moore checked up his swing. Realized he didn't want the pitch. No balls and a strike. The left-hander steps in. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Charnako off 2nd. Terrell off 1st. Time is called as Moore steps out of the box. Now he steps back in. 0-1 count. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside. Gets away. It's going to be a balk. A balk is called, and that loads the bases. Moore is awarded first base. The other 2 runners advance. Or actually, I believe it was a hit by a pitch. So my apologies, not a balk. That's why Moore got to go to 1st. Now the bases are loaded in a 1-run game, and Lewis will head to the plate. Henry Navarro will courtesy run at first base. He scored the game-winning run against Westfield on Friday. Now Lewis steps up in the left-handed batter's box. Bases loaded, 1 out in the inning. A sacrifice fly could drive in the game-tying run, but of course, ideally you want to hit. Moore, Lewis, and Eldridge, the trio of left-handers, having a discussion. Mason Bull comes back to the mound after hitting Connor Moore. Now Henry Navarro comes to 1st. The Warhawks trying to keep their season alive. Lewis will step up. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1-run game. Now Bull winds, delivers. That one's fouled off over the backstop, out of play. 0-1. Lewis steps in, calls time. Navarro on 1st. Terrell on 2nd. Charnako on 3rd. 1 out in the inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed out of the zone. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one swung on and chopped back to the pitcher. Fielded there. He's going to throw for home, get the out, throw to 1st. Is wide. The runner, Terrell's coming for home. This could tie the game. It does. They get the out at home, but the throw to 1st is wild. Kyle Terrell scores the game-tying run. And for a moment, things were looking dim. But the out is recorded but the error is made. Terrell comes home. The game is tied at 6, and Bryce Eldridge comes to the plate with runners on the corners. Eldridge has had 4 walks today. Will they make it 5? He's talking to Coach Pudge right now. If they walked Eldridge here with 2 outs, it would load the bases for Eli Navarro. And after walking Eldridge last time, they paid the price when Navarro hit an RBI single. Meeting at the mound now as the Warhawks have kept their hopes alive. 2 outs. It's going to be Navarro on third and Lewis on first. Eli Navarro was standing on third base with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th against Westfield when Jason Cassidy hit his sacrifice fly. Now he's standing there again with 2 outs and Bryce Eldridge, the best hitter in the state, at the plate. And they're going to intentionally walk him again. Boos coming in, loud boos from the crowd. That is his 5th walk today in as many appearances. And now the senior, Eli Navarro, comes up again. He was at the plate with his brother Henry on base, drove him over to third in the last game against Westfield before the Cassidy sacrifice fly. Now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Navarro steps out of the box. Looks like Cole DeSimone will pinch run for Bryce Eldridge with the game tied at 6 and 2 outs in the inning.
Number 4, Cole DeSimone.
So Eldridge heads back to the dugout. The Warhawks will hope he doesn't have to pitch again. Navarro steps in, do or die, right here at James Madison High School. 2 outs. The pitch, high and in for ball 1. A walk would be a walk-off in this situation with the bases loaded. Bull working quickly. Wines delivers. That one misses 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The game is tied at 6 in the bottom of the 7th. After 9 o'clock, Navarro on third, Lewis on second, DeSimone on first, and Eli Navarro at the plate. The 2-0 misses! 3 balls and no strikes. Navarro staying patient, and now we'll have a brief meeting at the mound as the shortstop Duncan comes in to talk to Mason Bull. 1 more ball and the game is over. Here come the cheers. Can you hear the crowd? 6-6, bottom of the 7th. Navarro calls time. This is the loudest it's been this season. Here with the season on the line. Here's the wind. The 3-0. It's Navarro, but it's a cold strike. It must have not hit him. It was just inside. Coach Pudge is coming out there. He thought that should have been ball 4 in the game. I thought it had glanced into Navarro. I was incorrect. Here's the wind. And the 3-1 is swung on and fouled off. Count is full. And either way, despite the fact that that didn't hit into Navarro, I thought that that one was inside and off the plate for ball 4. But now the count is full with 2 outs. Navarro steps in. Bull on the mound. 3-2. The pitch is a cold strike 3. We're going to go to extra innings. Mason Bull pumps his fist. That's a called strikeout on Eli Navarro. And if you're Coach Pudge, you're none too happy about that call on 3-0. It was borderline for sure, but it appeared inside enough to send Navarro for a walk-off walk. It did not happen. We go to the 8th. Presumably, Bryce Eldridge will be back out there again. It's 6-6, and this electric game continues. Top of the 8th, extra innings here at Madison with both teams' seasons on the line. It is 6-6. The Warhawks and the Warriors are all tied up. Madison stranded, the bases loaded. They had one out in the inning, and Mac Lewis had a fielder's choice, but the error following it sent Kyle Terrell home, and then Eli Navarro was called out on strikes after that. Intentional walk to Bryce Eldridge as Eldridge fires one down the middle for strike one in his third inning of work. 0-1 count. Eldridge works quickly. The pitch is fouled in the backstop. Eldridge allowed a solo home run to Keegan Mahoney last inning. Also allowed a run in the inning before that. And it's an 0-2 count against Malachi Merriweather, who had a double his last time up. Eldridge winds, delivers. That one's outside. The count is 1-2. Eldridge winds and delivers. That one's fouled off. Merriweather staying alive, but he's throwing a lot of heat on these fastballs right now. Connor Moore started the game, allowed 4 runs. 4 of the 6. Eldridge allowed the other 2. Here's the 1-2. It's high. Those were just 2 of his 6 earned runs all year. And that shows you how dominant he's been on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out in the top of the 8th. Here's the one and the pitch. Swung on and missed up in the zone. 1 down. Another strikeout for Bryce Eldridge sends Merriweather down, and now it's the 5th time into the order as Peter Burstling will come back up. He had a strikeout, a single, a double, and a sacrifice bunt. Now up in a big spot with nobody on, 1 out, and the game tied at 6. Right-hander Burstling stands in. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Count is 0-1 as Eldridge steps back onto the mound. Winding the pitch, swung on and missed again, strike 2. Eldridge looking in. Takes an extra beat. Now winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and an out. For Peter Burstling, who's a good hitter, but Bryce Eldridge made it look eeasy. Charlie Grove now coming up with 2 outs and nobody on. He had a strikeout, a ground out, and a couple singles.
Number 8, Charlie Grove.
So Grove now to step into the box. Eldridge looks in against the right-hander. Winding the pitch. That one's high for ball 1 on a fastball. Eldridge has been throwing harder than we've seen him throw in some time tonight. No radar gun here up in the booth, but you have to think, as that one's blasted down the right field line just foul, that he's probably hit mid-90s on a couple of these. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs in the inning. Warhawks and Warriors tied at 6. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, strike 2. The command is immaculate from the future MLB first-round pick. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on and chopped foul. Staying alive is Grove. His last single was a big hit to keep that rally alive for Wakefield. Eldridge walks off the back of the mound, now steps up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He nods. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed! Bryce Eldridge strikes out the side. A 1-2-3 inning will go to the bottom of the 8th. The Warhawks have another chance to walk it off and keep their season moving after this. Back for the bottom of the 8th, Mason Bull stays on the mound, and Jason Cassidy, the right-hander, will come to the plate. Cassidy had the game-winning sacrifice fly against Westfield last Friday to drive in Henry Navarro and complete the Warhawks comeback.
Third baseman, number 6, Jason Cassidy.
Warhawks Concord District champions in the first round of regionals, the region quarterfinals. Time is called as Bull was starting to go into his windup. Bull stranded, the bases loaded after a run came in on an error on the throw over to first that came after Bull got the out at home. Went wide and allowed the runner Lewis to reach, and another run in Terrell to score. That one misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Cassidy staying in, Bull working quickly. Here's the pitch. Outside off the mitt of the catcher, Angel, for ball 2, 2-0. Cassidy staying patient here. He's had an error where he reached first base, a single, a strikeout, and a walk. Bull sets. He winds and delivers. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes in a 6-6 game here at James Madison High School. Outfield shading relatively deep, deepest in center. Here's the wind and the pitch. Called strike right down the middle. 3-1. And the Warhawks were so close last inning to be able to end this one already. As that pitch is blasted to center, it's being chased back, and the play is made in deep center field. Believe that was Keegan Mahoney back out there to make the catch. Nice play out there. 1 down in the inning on some good contact from Jason Cassidy. And now Carter Tuft is up.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the designated hitter, number 10, Carter Tuft.
Last inning, the Warhawks had the bases loaded, a 3-0 count, and what appeared to be ball 4 on Eli Navarro, what was called strike 1. We're very, very close to earning the victory there with a walk-off walk. That one is fouled off into the parking lot by Carter Tuft, 0-1, with 1 out and nobody on. The right-hander Tuft comes set. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one's popped straight up, foul. The catcher, Angel, is chasing it down. He looks to make the catch. He does not. Count is 0-2. As Angel went to try to chase down the play and make a bucket catch, he was not able to secure it. 0-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. 6-6 game. Bull looks in. He nods. He winds. He delivers low and in the dirt. 1-2 count now. Cooper Charneko is on deck. He started the 7th inning rally with a walk. Here's the wind and the 1-2. That's low as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tuft is even the count at 2-2. Wind in the pitch. That one's popped into right. Could be a tricky play here. Fading in and making the grab for out number 2, though, is Peter Burstling. So 2 outs, nobody on after the fly out from Tuft, and Cooper Charneko will come up to try to keep the inning alive.
Now batting for the Warhawks, number 24, Cooper Charneko.
Charneko pitched 6 innings, a 4-run ball. It was a no decision in the win over Westfield as Bryce Eldridge was the pitcher to get the win. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the inside edge. 0-1. Here's the wind. And the pitch. Called strike 2 on the outside edge. Mason Bull is feeling it now. 0-2 on Cooper Charneko. Bull comes set. Nods. Goes into his wind. A high kick. And the pitch. That one's low. 1-2 count here. 6-6 game in the bottom of the 8th as we approach 9:30. The next pitch is popped foul down the first base line into the parking lot. Charneko stays alive at 1-2. Big gap in the infield around second base. Here's the pitch. It's high off the mid of Angel and into the backstop. 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Charneco takes a big hack outside the batter's box. Now he steps in. Here's the nod. Bull winds, delivers, swung on and fouled off to the backstop. Charneco stays alive. 2-2. Cooper Charneco fighting through, trying to start a 2-out rally. He steps in the box. Bull shakes off the sign. Now sets. He delivers. Another foul ball into the netting. Count stays at 2-2. Charneco steps back in. Bull shakes it off. No nods. The wind in the pitch. Swing and a miss on the inside edge, and Bull roars in celebration after striking out Cooper Charneco. A 1-2-3 inning and an effective one for Mason Bull. We got more free baseball. We'll go to the top of the ninth. This game is still tied at 6. Top of the ninth in the second extra inning of baseball. And Bryce Eldridge is out there for his 4th inning of work. He allowed a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th, struck out the side in the 8th, and now we'll face Michael Duncan. Duncan had a double, a couple flyouts, and a strikeout his first 4 times up. Now he steps back in. Eldridge steps up to the mound. Duncan steps in. Righty-righty matchup here with the outfield playing deep against the heart of the order. The pitch is high in the zone for a called strike 1. The count is 0-1 with nobody out. Here's the wind. And the next offering. That one swung on and chopped up the middle. Lewis will have it at short. He hops, throws it over to first, and gets the out number 1. So this time it wasn't a strikeout, but it was a clean out for Bryce Eldridge on some weak contact into the dirt. And now Mason Bull, the pitcher, will come up. He's walked, struck out, reached first on an error, and flied out his first 4 times up. He now will face Bryce Eldridge in the left-handed batter's box.
Mason Bull.
1 out, nobody on. Eldridge fires right down the middle for strike 1. Comes set again. And delivers. That one's fouled into the netting. 0-2. Eldridge working quickly here. Bull steps back into the box. Starting pitcher Wade Brigham on deck. Here's the 0-2. That one swung on and hit hard to left. Tracking it back deep. Trying to get under it is Norman. He'll fall under it near the warning track and make the catch. So some good contact for Bull. And a scary sight to see given that he is the team's best power hitter. and has hit multiple home runs recently. He does fly out, though, for out number 2. Best contact that the Warriors have gotten off of Bryce Eldridge in a good long while, and now Wade Brigham will step up. He struck out, flied out, hit a sacrifice fly, and struck out his first 4 times up. So 2 outs in the inning, nobody on. Here's the pitch, outside for ball 1. Infield back. Shallowest infielder is Cassidy, but he's still closest to the outfield grass. Eldridge winds and delivers. That one just misses the outside edge. 2 balls and no strikes. Eldridge looks in. Here's the wind. And the pitch is swung on and missed. 2-1. Brigham steps out, now gets back into the box. He allowed 3 runs in his pitching appearance today. Eldridge winds and delivers. That one swung on and fouled back to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eldridge picks up the rosin bag, throws it back to the dirt, to the grass. 2-2 count with 2 outs in the inning. The line of the pitch. That one's hit right to Lewis at short. He makes the play, takes a couple hop steps, and throws it over to first. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Eldridge. Eldridge struck out the side last inning, getting some contact allowed this time, but still got 3 straight outs. We will go to the bottom of the 9th. The Warhawks have another opportunity here with the game tied at 6. Back for the bottom of the 9th, and we got a Warhawk pinch hitter. It's Nico Papathanassiou pinch hitting for Hector Orozco. Papathanassiou was 0 for 1 for a walk in his last game against Westfield. He now comes up to pinch hit and hit for the first time today against Mason Bull, who's back in for the bottom of the 9th. Papathanassiou, the left-hander, coming in against the right-hander Bull. It could be a matchup they liked better.
Leading off for the Warhawks.
And now Papathanassiou steps in.
Number 23, Nico Papathanassiou.
6-6 game after 9:30 at James Madison High School. This game nearly been 3 hours long. Bull winds. Here's the opening pitch. Breaking ball on the outside edge for strike 1. Papathanassiou in the box with Terrell presumably on deck. The next pitch is low for a ball. 1-1 count. Papathanassiou steps back in. Here's the wind. And the next pitch is swung on and missed on a heater high in the zone. That was a rising fastball that Bull was able to get Papathanassiou to chase. Outfield deep. 1-2 count. Nobody out. The pitch. That one swung on and hit hard to the gap. Could it fall? It does not. It's caught in left. Nice play out there by Evan Lease and good contact by Nico Papathanassiou. But 1 out now made in the inning, and Kyle Terrell, the right-hander, steps up. He has a walk, a sacrifice bunt, strikeout, and another walk this game. 6-6 game. Terrell takes a couple hacks outside the box. Now steps in. There's the set and the pitch. That one swung on and popped toward the parking lot. 0-1. Terrell steps back into the box. This count is 0-1. Next pitch brushes him back way inside. The count stays at 1-1. Back into the box is Terrell. Here's the wind of the pitch. Swung on and fouled off in the parking lot once again. 1-2 count with one away. Terrell steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bull winds and delivers. Another pop-up foul down the first base line. Kyle Terrell out to destroy some cars and stay alive in his at-bat. Count stays at 1-2. Top of the order coming up after this. Here's the set. The wind of the pitch. That one's hit hard towards center. Mahoney chasing it down. He dives. Did he make the catch? Still hard to tell. Looks like he did. A diving catch made in center by Keegan Mahoney, who hit a home run today, came on in relief as a pitcher. Or did they going to say he trapped it and got Terrell to first? Coach Pudge is coming out. Terrell isn't leaving the field yet. But Westfield was also celebrating as if he caught it. And now, looks like we're going to have a meeting between the umpires. There's no instant replay here, but they'll decide whether Mahoney made the catch. He's standing out there with his arms raised as though he did. It seemed to be the initial signal, but Terrell stayed at first, and Coach Pudge came out to discuss the matter further. This is a crucial moment here in the game. Mahoney raced to his right, misplayed it slightly, and had to come back in for it. And all 3 umpires now in a discussion here in the bottom of the 9th. Mason Bull will try to stay warm, with Connor Moore ready to come up for the 6th time today. Possibly the umpires have differing views on this. So they're talking for a long time. Some calls from the stands to just play baseball, keep it going. Undoubtedly, Wakefield fans will want to see their pitcher, Mason Bull, stay warm on the mound. And now they're going to call out Wakefield's coach from the dugout to discuss this. A couple umpires will discuss this with him. Not sure exactly what the discussion could be about for so long, as Coach Pudge came out there and now stepping back into the dugout. It looks like both of the umpires are talking to Wakefield's coach about throwing out a fan from the game for heckling. That seems to be the discussion. Maybe not the matter of the catch anymore. So we'll see. Now the 3rd umpire is coming over. And this lengthy discussion, if anything, only hurts Mason Bull and Wakefield. Bull is trying his best to stay warm out there, as Terrell will now jog back to the dugout to be replaced by Henry Navarro. So Coach Pudge is treating as if they've called it a catch already. We'll see what they do. They'll say he's safe at first. So it's going to be a single for Kyle Terrell with 1 out in the inning. After a long time, the call is made, and you could either call it a single or an error, as Keegan Mahoney can't believe it out there. Either way, Kyle Terrell did reach base. So with 1 out in the inning, Terrell at first, and Connor Moore will come up for the 6th time today. More discussions, probably about the pinch runner, Navarro. So Navarro comes over to first, and he's pinch ran in some big spots as of late. The go-ahead run now stands over there with 1 out, and Connor Moore stepping up in the bottom of the 9th.
Now batting for the Warhawks, the catcher, number 33, Connor Moore.
So Moore today doubled, flied out, grounded out, and got hit by a pitch. He's up for his 6th time in the left-handed batter's box. Pitched 3 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs as well. Mahoney back deep in center. Time is called. And Mason Bull will wait just a little bit longer. Mac Lewis stands on deck with this game tied at 6 in the VHSL 6D region quarterfinal. The winner moves on. The loser's season ends. That pitch is chopped over to the second baseman. This could be 2. Throw over to second. That gets 1. Throw comes to first, and he's out. Connor Moore grounds into a double play, and that ends the 9th. All of Westfield's dugout comes out to celebrate. We have more baseball to go. We'll be back out for the top of the 10th. Game is tied at 6, and we'll see what happens after the break. Back for the top of the 10th, and the Wakefield, not Westfield Warriors and Madison are tied at 6-6. Similar names have the last 2 teams that Madison has faced. Westfield they beat on Friday 5-4 in that walk-off to clinch the Concord District. And Bryce Eldridge coming back out there for a 5th inning of work. A Madison Bumgardner-esque performance from what he did at the World Series a few years back. Eldridge, who normally starts, coming out in relief. He allowed a couple runs, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Has had 1, 2, 3 innings in the last 2, and now faces Keegan Mahoney, who had a home run earlier this game. Mahoney with a strikeout, a couple walks, and a solo homer. Game tied at 6. This is the 3rd extra frame. Eldridge winds and delivers. That one was smashed into the parking lot. Down the first base line, foul, 0-1. Some great contact there. Eldridge now steps up, a righty-lefty matchup here. 0-1, the pitch. Into the dirt, count is 1-1. Mahoney steps back into the box. Eldridge winds and fires. That one's hit up the middle. Base hit. Keegan Mahoney gets a leadoff single. That's the first base hit since the 7th off of Bryce Eldridge. Now Bo Branch, who had a 2-run homer early in this one, will step up. Branch had a strikeout, a 2-run homer, a fielder's choice, and another strikeout.
Batting for Wakefield, number 4, Bo Branch.
Eldridge picks up the rosin bag and throws it back onto the back of the pitcher's mound. Charneko at first base, guarding the bag. Runner on first, nobody out. Bunt attempt is there. The pitch is wild. Throw coming to second. Mahoney gets there safely. He's in scoring position now with nobody out. 1 ball and no strikes on Bo Branch as Eldridge tries to settle back in. Certainly tiring in his 5th inning of work. He certainly did not expect to have to go for this long. Top of the 10th in a game that's tied at 6. It's been an over 3-hour game so far. Here's the bunt attempt. It's popped toward the third base side, foul. Out of play, 1-1. Casti picks it up, throws it back over to Bryce Eldridge. And Wakefield may try to just force the runner over to third so that they can hit a sacrifice fly and finally get a run on the board. Eldridge steps back to the mound again. It's a marathon of a game. 1-1 count. He looks in and now sets. First baseman Charneko creeps all the way in, and now Eldridge steps off the mound. 1-1 count, nobody out. Mahoney stands on second. Bo Branch is at the plate. Eldridge now sets. There's the wind and the pitch. That one's bunted straight back to the pitcher. Eldridge looks at third. Now throws over to first. The throw is wild. Charneko and Terrell were confused about who should cover. And on that error, the runner is safe. Runners on the corners and nobody out. So Bo Branch reaches first. Now Teddy Angel will come up. Now we'll have a meeting at the mound with Bryce Eldridge. Coach Pudge comes out to talk to him. Long discussion at the mound here. The question is, will he stay in? The entire infield in to discuss this. He's staying in the game, toughing it out, pitching more and more. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And he's tired, but he's their best guy available right now. So Eldridge comes up to face a new batter. He looks in against Teddy Angel, the catcher. Winds and delivers. That one's bunted down. And it looks like it's going to be foul. 0-1. So Eldridge heads back to the mound. No balls and a strike with no outs and runners on the corners, as Wakefield will try to squeeze home a run in the top of the 10th with the game tied at 6. Angel has had a walk, a strikeout, a fly out, and another strikeout this game. Runner Branch is going to take second. 2 runners in scoring position now with nobody out. All the infield creeping in. Here's the throw over to third, and Cassidy makes a football-style catch over there. No balls and a strike with nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. Bryce Eldridge in a dangerous situation in the 10th. He looks in and now sets. Coming to the chest. Here's the 0-1. Low for ball 1. Eldridge will head back to the mound now. The game's still tied at 6. Branch on second. And, of course, over at third, having had the leadoff single in the inning, it's Keegan Mahoney. That pitch is foul, tipped into the mitt of the catcher Moore. Huge one there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Eldridge versus Angel. He looks in and sets. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss! 1 down. Merriweather will come up now. He has a couple strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch and also had a double today. Runners on second and third as Merriweather takes a hack. Now steps into the box. 1 out now. Game still tied at 6 in the top of the 10th.
Merriweather.
Eldridge with a long look in the set. Infield still playing far in. The pitch is low for ball 1. Pulling back the bunt attempt is Merriweather. Runners remain where they are. 1-0 count. Eldridge looks in. Lewis at short. Cassidy at third. Terrell at second. Charneko at first. Eldridge on the mound. And Moore at catcher. The pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. 1 away. Runners on second and third. Game tied at 6 in the top of the 10th. in this VHSL Region 6D quarterfinal, where the winner moves on and the loser's season ends. There's a pitcher warming up in the bullpen right now for Wakefield. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Eldridge losing a little bit of velocity on that fastball, but it's still popping into the mitt of Connor Moore. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eldridge sets in the stretch. Here's the kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss! He does it again! 2 outs in the inning. Couple of strikeouts there for Eldridge, and now for the 6th time, it's Peter Burstling coming up to bat. He has a strikeout, a single, a double, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout on his last time up. Eldridge has pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs. Burstling comes to bat. Runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. There were runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out just moments ago. Now Eldridge could afford a ground ball as long as the play is made behind him. The pitch, right on the inside corner, a well-placed fastball for strike 1. 0-1 now is the count. Eldridge with a look in. And the set. Here's the line and the pitch. Swan and foul tipped into the netting. 0-2. 2 outs. 6-6. James Madison Warhawks and Wakefield Warriors. And now Moore will talk to Eldridge at the mound. Eldridge rubbing the ball on the pitcher's mound right now. Probably trying to get it to be less slippery. Now he'll walk around back there with his glove off. Picks up the rosin, adjusts it for an extra long time in his hand, and throws it back down. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Cheers coming from the crowd. Here's the set. The wind and the 0-2. Swung and popped up foul over the backstop. It'll stay at 0-2. Burstling staying alive here in the top of the 10th. In his 6th time up. Connor Moore pitched 4 innings, or 3 2/3. Cale Yates and Jason Cassidy got 2 outs apiece. And Bryce Eldridge has gotten the last 14 while allowing just 2 runs. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss! He does it again! Look at how fired up he is coming off the mound. Bryce Eldridge is inhuman. Won't go to the bottom of the 10th with this game still tied. Runners were on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, and Eldridge gets 3 straight players to whiff for strike 3. The Warhawks all take a knee by the 3rd base line. They'll be ready to hit after this. Bottom of the 10th, 6-6 game. Mason Bull is back out there again. How about that? He has stayed out there and gutted through, just allowed 1 run that was caused by the error way back in the 7th inning. He is into his 4th inning of work now as he'll face the left-hander, Mac Lewis. Lewis steps in the box. His 6th time at the plate. He had a single, a strikeout, a walk, a single, and a fielder's choice, and he takes a called strike one. Bryce Eldridge is on deck for the Warhawks. He has had 5 walks today. Next pitch is in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Angel. Count is 1-1. Eldridge had runners on second and third with nobody out in the top of the inning, stranded them with 3 straight strikeouts. That is tough to do. Here's the 1-1. Lewis checks up inside, ball 2. Great job by Mac Lewis holding up. The catcher trying to appeal, but Lewis definitely did not go far enough. 2 balls and a strike. The next pitch, way inside, almost hit him. 3-1. Mason Bull still hard throwing, but also losing stamina in a pitcher's duel with Bryce Eldridge. The pitch, called strike. Lewis thought that was ball 4. That's not the first time this has happened today. Now the count is full. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off down the third base line. Mac Lewis is staying alive. He'll have his 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Game tied at 6th in the bottom of the 10th. Here's the wind in the pitch. Swung on and fouled off again. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming for Mac Lewis. Infield playing relatively back. Bull looks in. Wines delivers. That one is smoked. That might clear the whole school building into the front of Madison High School. It was way foul down the first base line, but Mac Lewis got all of it and then some. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. 3-2 count. The offering is low and away for ball 4. Mac Lewis draws a leadoff walk and will come to first with Bryce Eldridge headed to the plate. Will Eldridge be intentionally walked again? He's been intentionally walked some, and the times he hasn't, he's just been walked after going through his at-bat. Runner on first, and they're going to let him hit. Lewis takes his lead. The first pitch is low for ball 1. One run in this inning would win it for the Warhawks. The pitch is low for ball 2. 2-0 count. Noise coming from the crowd. Eldridge has walked all 5 times he's been up today, but pitched 5 innings of relief work. The pitch right down the middle for strike 1. 2-1 count with nobody down. Outfield deep. Here's the set. Throw over to first. Back safely is Lewis. Eli Navarro is on deck for the Warhawks. It's almost 10 o'clock in the bottom of the 10th. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, blasted to left, and getting under it and making the catch in right field is Burstling. Eldridge got over it, but couldn't quite hit it out or into a gap. And now that's his first time being out today. He's 0 for 1 with 5 walks, and Navarro will come up. Lewis on first. Navarro steps up with 1 away. Still a great opportunity for the Warhawks, but Mason Bull has retired Bryce Eldridge. Back to first is Mac Lewis. Navarro steps back into the box. 1 out. The line of the pitch is high for ball 1. He steps back out. Navarro had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th, got struck out, and almost had a walk-off walk with a 3-0 count. The pitch is swung on and hit off the mask of the catcher, Angel. 1 ball and 1 strike. He took a pitch that he thought was inside and would have ended the game, but it was called strike 1 way back then. That seems like eons ago. Now this game approaching 3.5 hours in length. Bull comes set. Runner on first. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on it, hit hard through the hole, base hit. Lewis rounds second, he'll stop there. But Eli Navarro has another key single. 2 runners on with 1 out. Navarro with 2 singles now today, along with a sacrifice fly. And now the hero of the game against Westfield, Jason Cassidy, comes up for the 6th time against Wakefield. He reached first on an error, had a single, a strikeout, a walk, and a flyout. He'll be back up again in the bottom of the 10th with runners on first and second. The walk-off run stands in scoring position with 1 out.
For the Warhawks, the third baseman, number 6, Jason Cassidy.
Now Bull looks in, shakes off the sign, now nods and sets. The line of the pitch, swung on it, smoked, it'll drop, base hit, Lewis rounds third, throw comes in, offline, he scores! The Warhawks win it!
Not the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you one thing right now, everybody get on your feet, get both of these teams a big round of applause. That's got to be the best high school baseball game I've seen all year long in many years.
Jason Cassidy is the hero again. He hits one to left center, and Mac Lewis was flying around the bases. He wanted it to be done. The Warhawks win it in 10 innings to keep their season alive. They'll move to the regional semifinals this Friday to face the winner of that Yorktown and Oakton game that also took place. And that was the craziest game that Madison has played in this season. Incredible. Absolutely absurd. 5 relief innings from Bryce Eldridge. He only expected 2. He got 5. But held the Warriors to no runs in the 8th, 9th, and the 10th. And Madison wins it in the end. So we'll be back for more baseball this Friday. Don't miss it. VHSL 6D region semifinals coming up. Thank you all for tuning in to what was an excellent game. Final score, the Warhawks 7 and the Warriors 6, live from James Madison High School in an insane finish. This has been Calvin Kaplan saying so long until Friday when the Warhawks season continues.